Alright, looks like we're live, so yeah. Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're having an amazing weekend. Hope you've had a great week, and yeah, thank you for tuning in to episode 130 of Let's Chat Live. So, let's see who's in the voice chat waiting for me, shall we? So, waiting for me, guys, is Aaron's here, nice and with Shadow and Blaze. Awesome. Let's go and say hello to him, shall we? Hmm. Hey guys. Hey guys.
Yeah. Hey there, Luke.
Hey, how's it going? And hello to Joseph in the comments. Hope you're doing well, and we're going live right now. So yeah, how's it going?
Going very well. I'm doing fine. Just telling them about some things I got, and including new PlayStation controllers coming. So this is the one I have. It's a third-party PlayStation 3 controller, so it's not
very nice.
official. So I'm getting a blue official one because
very nice. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I have yet to get a PS3 though. I'll probably get one in the future, though, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll just hope you can find one.
I'm sure I will.
Yeah, and I also I can say this. I actually looked up YouTube's recent new monetization policies, and you need to have 3,000 watch time hours and 500 subscribers.
Well, I have all that credit. I have all that criteria, so yeah, I'm all good. But yeah, obviously, recently YouTube's been an absolute arse to me recently. So yeah, I'm sick of them.
Yeah, screw you toilets.
Or as I call it, you toilets.
Yeah, there's a better way to fix that. Let me to kind of explain it quickly. When you get monetized on YouTube at the first tier, which is the 3,000 watch time hours, you can get super thanks and you get actually like pay for donations and fan donations, but you can't have ads running on your videos. But if you can build up on people donating and you get to 1,000, then you get ads running on your videos, then you can be able to make more money that way. Donation build up. I know YouTube's been a pain for you, Luke, and I know.
Yeah. I honestly, Aaron, I don't care about YouTube anymore. I'm only here to support my friends. I no longer care about it.
I mean, YouTube is dead.
I thought it'd be better after obviously you're left, but no, I was unfortunately horribly wrong because this has happened.
Well, I'm sorry that happened to you, man. Believe me, I do. And
well, thanks for your support.
I really hope though you get. I mean, for me personally, I know YouTube's been a PAIN to you, but you're a good content creator, and I don't always watch your videos, do gameplays, you have fun with you, do reviews, that type of thing. And I know you're not doing much reactions like you used to anymore. I respect that because I understand where you're coming from. One of the big reasons I stopped reacting is because because now reactions are copyright unless you do some loopholes, and I don't want to do those type of loopholes. Like loopholes like continually pausing the video.
That's just too much. That's just too much.
I'm just getting started. Cutting out parts of the reaction. This one ticks me off a lot. Because I've seen reaction channels won't give names do that. And the only way they can get away with that is if they ask permission from the actual content creator channels. Which is why if people don't do the reactions right, which is one of my videos, are reaction videos actually content, which I say they are, but you gotta do it right.
I even put in disclaimer saying that I don't own what I'm reacting to. I'll put the link to the video in the description. What more do we want?
I had that too. I mean, and whenever I do, personally though, I love doing what I do. Recently, one of my gaming videos, which is MLB The Show 07, or MLB 07 The Show, that's what they call it. One of my episodes hit over 500 views from 3 days ago. Which hundreds of views is amazing. If every video in my channel gets hundreds of views at a time, and it builds up from there. That's a lot of cash coming in.
Yeah, nice one.
Yeah. And even though I am going to make this clear, I am going to see the new Five Nights at Freddy's movie that's coming out.
I think I might see it too. I might see it too. Because for those of you who don't know, I have played the original game of FNAF, but I've not played any of the others. I've only played the original so far.
Yeah,
the original one to me, it can't be topped.
Oh yeah, it's timeless in my opinion, timeless. And if you guys are wondering, my favorite character in the franchise is Bonnie.
I can see you have a FNAF costume with glasses.
Hmm.
Oh, real funny.
Oh yeah, it's Blaze using the duck sound effect. Yeah, those like a new thing that Discord have added, haven't they?
Yeah. Here's what I can say about that. Jeez.
Good one. Good one.
Yep. Yeah, cheese.
Yeah.
I mean, I like cheese pizza. You know, recently there's a pizza. I don't know if they have it in your country. Home Run Inn pizza. It's actually one of my favorite frozen pizzas ever because what I like the cheese. You know how we take the wrapper off. You always see those cheese just flaking and all that. And you have to clean it up.
Yeah. What about it, Aaron?
Yeah. Well, in this case with Home Run Inn, the cheese is like already pre-cooked, I guess you might say, because it's all like melted.
All right.
All you gotta do is just cook it in, so it doesn't make much of a mess.
Well, that's actually pretty handy.
So not only do you have to not worry about making a mess with it tastes really, really good.
Very nice.
I probably prefer the thin crust Home Run Inn, but the regular is good too. It means it's good, it's cheesy, it's still cheesy, and if you cook it right, the crust is good too.
Well, I'll see if it's any of my stores, and I'll definitely give it a try. That's good, and I'll be looking forward to seeing who you've met this weekend. And it's pretty cool you met Asher Angel. You're very lucky, man. Nice one.
Very, very lucky.
Yeah, I'm sure he was a nice guy to meet.
Awesome, Asher. Awesome. Disney Channel stars was.
Yeah, he's a Disney Channel star apparently. I know him just for Shazam, though.
Yeah, I mean, Holly and I do have done a Disney Anime Classic Release Today series, and we're currently done 21 episodes so far. With the recent one being Pocahontas.
Very nice. Thanks for letting me know, Blaze. Because in case you're wondering, we could have a potential voice actor joining us as a guest, which is a voice actor Richard Epcar.
Oh, Richard?
Yeah, Richard Epcar. Yeah.
Master Raiden himself.
From Mortal Kombat, and if you're familiar with the Injustice video games, he voices the Joker as well.
Oh no! Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, so Blaze got in touch with him, and it looks like he could be joining us. He couldn't join the previous week because he was sick, so yeah, I'm hoping that today he'll have recovered.
Yeah, imagine this. I must consult the other gods.
Yeah, I think he might probably say that. Yeah, Raiden will be my favorite wall of his.
I still remember Scorpion's line. Get over here!
Yeah, we can thank the legendary Ed Boon for that.
Yeah. I mean, I really like the Mortal Kombat scenes. And this is gonna probably expose me there, but I do like seeing some of the Mortal Kombat stuff. I just don't like it when they get too much and show too much inappropriate stuff. Not the gore and blood stuff.
I know what you mean, Aaron. I can understand. I mean, the franchise is definitely a franchise that's not for children. I'll definitely say that it does have lots of highly rated content.
It's never meant for children ever.
Never was. Ever since 992.
That's how a good story should be written. Disney.
Indeed, yeah.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah. The recent movie, they have a movie Elemental, which I won't be watching. But I have a good catchphrase for that, which I learned from a wrestler named Mikey O'Shea. That's what that is.
Yeah, I'm not interested in Elemental either. I know it's not going to be good. I've not heard good things about it. I mean, Blaze, some of it was like a rip off of Zootopia, so yeah.
And Turning Red was so good, bad enough.
Yeah, that I mean, Shadow, that literally turned off my Pixar interest.
Oh, okay. I mean, if you Blaze, you've seen Elemental. What's your 2 cents on it? Just underscore 1 to 10.
I think he gave it 5, didn't you, Blaze? 5, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he gives it 5. Yeah, I was right.
Yeah, all I can say is from Mike O'Shea, element of surprise, boom.
Yeah, element of surprise, eh?
And Blaze, one question. How did you find that non-binary character?
I mean,
Did you find?
I don't understand why they'd include that sort of thing in what's supposed to be a family-friendly movie.
My hot take on that, it's when it comes to anything with sexual orientation, that is not a kid's subject.
Yeah, no, Aaron, you're right. You're completely right. It's not. Children shouldn't be exposed to that sort of thing until they're old enough.
Yeah, I mean, that's just
yeah.
If anyone says, oh, I'm bisexual, okay, but if someone tells me they're 9 years old bisexual, I'm like, where are your parents right now? Where are your parents?
Yeah, that's very concerning right there.
Yeah, I mean, personally, though, I think Blaze didn't see it. Yeah. Disney was promoting the film. They introduced one of the main characters as non-binary, which, by definition, which in case people don't know, non-binary basically means they don't associate with any gender, and they don't consider themselves male or female. They consider the pronouns mainly they them.
Yeah, I think that's just stupid, and it makes no sense. Yeah. Hey, Liv, nice to see you here. Hope you're doing well.
Like I'm so sick and tired of all these pronouns. Like it's BS.
Well,
yeah, it's a BS.
I mean, Shadow,
Yeah.
Shadow, if you want to watch something which rants about it, then watch Tulsa King. That'll cheer you up.
I've seen that pronoun. I've seen the pronoun.
Well, I actually take pronouns from Michael Jackson. My pronouns are
Good one. Yeah, Michael Jackson's a timeless legend, in my opinion. Never gets old. Rest in peace to him.
I guess he could also take a page from Gina Carano's book called "The just goes beep or boop."
Yeah, or we could do something like this.
Yeah, you're right, Rex. I hate what Disney's become nowadays. Compared to the classic Disney that I used to love when I was a kid, in my opinion, it's just a joke.
And speaking of jokes, I sadly watched one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life now this week.
Yeah, and that, of course, is the 1967 parody film Casino Royale, which is, in my opinion, the absolute worst bad movie I've ever seen in my life. Oh
my god, just what was that movie?
Well, in my opinion, it's not a movie. It's a total joke.
Which is, if Mark Hamill was here, he would give that, it's quite a total joke. Today's movies are not tragedy these days. It's not even funny anymore. No one cares for the comedy nowadays. Not my best Joker impression, but
I think it was pretty good, actually. Yeah, good attempt at it. Yeah. And Shadow, Shadow. I also hope that you enjoyed, of course, my trash talk of the movie when you saw it today.
Oh, you know it. You know it.
I mean, you told me that you did, yeah, and I'm glad you enjoyed it.
But speaking of good movies I saw this week, A Total Recall.
Yeah, you saw it. With my second favorite film by Paul Verhoeven, an absolute masterpiece.
Yeah.
I'm very well, thank you, Adol. I hope you're doing well. Hey, Darth Prime.
These are 2 Wii controllers, by the way. They're both classic controllers.
Very nice.
Right here.
Very nice.
For the viewers that are not seeing this, I'm holding the classic Wii controller. There's just the oval circle with buttons. They're just a little smaller.
Very nice.
The main one is a Pro controller, which actually looks like you could play with an Xbox or Sony type controller with the triggers and everything.
That's cool.
That's the big difference. So you guys try to picture your head. I actually said picture that in your hand.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. You're playing with your hand, but you put your hand on that. Okay, that sounded wrong. Sorry.
Yeah. Blaze. Have you spoken to Richard via the website he told you to contact him on?
That was actually his email.
Well, his email. Have you emailed him, Blaze?
Yeah, I sent it Discord invite.
Okay, nice one. Hey, Lucky Nerd, welcome.
I think he would join like at 10 p.m.
10 p.m. That'll be 9 p.m. for me, won't it?
Yeah.
Nice one. Looking forward.
Daniel, that's also you live in San Antonio. You're still a few hours away from me though, because I don't live in San Antonio. I live like hours away from there. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Daniel's been at conventions, which is pretty awesome, and I can't wait to see who you met, Daniel. I mean, you've already told you met Asher Angel, but I can't wait to see who else you've met. I'm definitely gonna be in for a treat, for. I have no doubt about it. It's very hot. It's very hot, Daniel. Yeah, same for me. It's been really hot today for me. Because I was out in Manchester today, and yeah, it was boiling. It thankfully rained though, so I got a bit of cold air.
It's 11 degrees from here.
Oh wow!
It's been raining out there. Thank God.
Literally before stream started as well, guys. There was a storm too. It was a storm for me.
Oh Jesus! Right now.
Yep, same.
I guess you could say it's raining. It's pouring. I'll get my canoe.
Yeah.
And again, UK weather can be very unpredictable. It was boiling just a few hours ago.
Aaron, there's a question from Daniel asking, have you ever seen a show called Seinfeld?
Yes.
Yeah, because
I've seen some Seinfeld.
Well, that's cool. Yeah. The reason why I ask is because Daniel's asking is because there's an actor who's taking pictures with the fans at this convention that he's at, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I mean, it's not to say Seinfeld's not that funny, but I disagree. There are some funny moments. Like there was a time when a telemarketer called one of the main characters, and the guy said, "How about you call me back? Call me at your home number." And he goes, "I can't do that." And he goes, "Because that would mean." And then after a while, he goes, "Now you know how I feel," and hangs up on the telemarketer.
Yeah. How do I feel about Yuri Lowenthal voicing Smoke in MK1? Well, I'm going to give him a chance. He's a great voice actor. Good luck to him. And I think based on that trailer, it sounds like he's doing a good job so far. So yeah, good luck to him.
And Blaze apparently says that Smoke in that game looks like me.
Yeah, he does. Look at the light show.
But Blaze, do you even know what Shadow looks like?
Yeah, I know what Shadow looks like.
Okay. Well, let's hope that Smoke looks like him as well then. I mean, Shadow, can you confirm this based on the picture?
Yeah, it looks a little bit.
I mean, the eyes are quite similar, but only the hairstyle, of course, is a bit different, isn't it? And the hair colour, of course, because you don't have grey hair, do you, Shadow?
I don't.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people tend to get grey hair, maybe when they're middle age or something, but sometimes people can actually get it at a really young age. It can happen, really. I mean, for example, my granddad, he got grey hair when he was in his 20s, so yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Look who also came back in MK1.
Oh, is that Sector with Rain?
Yeah.
And I gotta say, Blaze.
Sector is literally Iron Man now.
I gotta say, when I look at his blue eyes and the fly coming out of his hands, it just reminds me a lot of Iron Man a little bit.
He even flies in the game, which is the funny part.
Maybe he's Iron Man after all, and Blaze, isn't he? Iron Sector. And I think Rain using a star's pretty cool, isn't it, Blaze, too?
Oh yeah.
And I'm kind of also glad that he's part of like the main roster now and not a DLC from the look of things too.
Oh, Luke, look at this. It's Shadow on the Bond.
Yeah, it is.
Nice one.
Oh, I see Ozzy's on a flight and he's playing a game. Looks like GTA. That's cool. Hope he's having fun. It's really cool how you can play a PS4 game on a plane, isn't it? With an iPad. That's really cool. Wish I could do that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't have a PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 3, a silver one. And I hope in the future, though, I play all the MLB show games till I get to, next.
Well, good luck to you, Aaron. Hope it all goes well for you.
Yeah, but first things first, before I make any huge purchases, my ultimate goal, New Zealand.
Well, I hope you achieve your goal, Aaron. Hope it all goes well.
Yeah, but it's gonna be 2024 before it happens because there's timing. There's me having to get my passport, and then there's that type of thing.
Yeah, of course.
Batman beard, really?
Batman beard.
I mean, I know Batman had a big beard for a time, but I'm not Batman.
I don't remember having a beard. I mean, I can probably.
Batman has a beard, doesn't he?
If we're talking about a prime regular Batman, but maybe if he's like maybe he's not been in crime fighting, I guess. But unfortunately, guys, I did hear that in that Flush movie, Michael Keaton's Batman and did have a beard when he first appeared, like a long beard, like a Gandalf knockoff or something.
What?
Yeah, shut up. There was like leaks on Twitter about us all. They got taken down due to copyright, but the people were saying it's Batman and cosplaying as Gandalf. Yeah.
That is laughable.
Yeah, poor Michael Keaton, eh?
Then Ian McKellen comes in. You shall not pass.
Yeah, Ian McKellen's the man. He's a legend.
Yeah, he's a great actor. I mean,
phenomenal.
Legendary.
He also acted as the villain in Flushed Away. That's a good.
That's my favorite voice role of his, actually. I mean, that's my favorite voice role of his. The Toad.
Yeah.
Hello, Rita. And who is this? Is your new boyfriend a waiter? Can you?
Yeah, I was watching Flushed Away yesterday.
Yeah, and Blaze, when it comes to Ian McKellen, have you got a favorite role of his, Ian McKellen?
Let me check his roles quickly.
I mean, I've already said my favorite role of his of all time is Gandalf from Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movie trilogies.
Yeah, and speaking of Lord of the Rings, that actually reminds me. Blaze, did you finish watching the franchise?
Wait, which one?
Yeah, the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
No, they came so busy I forgot about it.
Oh, Aaron, back to all it says that apparently you look a bit like Ben Affleck.
I don't know how I can live with Ben Affleck, even though
I honestly don't see it.
I'm definitely not as fit like him. No, like all the.
I actually don't see it.
I mean, to be completely honest, I don't know which actor could look like you, Aaron, actually, when I think about it. I don't know who you look like, actually. It's hard to say, really.
Try this website, wait.
I think though, to be honest though, I mean, apparently by face, what?
Yeah, if you show a photo of yourself there, it's gonna tell you who you look similar to.
Just get ready for some weird results, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, and of course, when it comes to Blaze, what would you say is your favorite role of Ian McKellen? Then when you look at his roles he's done,
I think Toad and Magneto and Gandalf.
Yeah, great choices. And Toad is my favorite voice role of his of all time. You know, like, hello, Rita, and who is this? Is your new boyfriend a waiter? Yeah, Ian McKellen's a legend.
I believe he's the bystander.
Oh yeah, and also this week I managed to see two of the Naked Gun movies so far.
Oh yeah, the first two. Yeah, they're really funny movies, aren't they? I mean, when I watch that trilogy, you know, Leslie Nielsen, I'm always dying of laughter. I have to I have to pause it, you know, to laugh my head off because they're just so hilarious.
Yeah, and I'm watching the third one tomorrow.
Well, Shadow, you probably going to the third one because there's a surprise cameo in it, but I'm not going to say who because I don't want to spoil the surprise for you.
Yeah, and the one.
He's talking about.
Yeah, the one said it was one of his funniest, one of the funniest reviews I've ever had.
Well, you're in for a treat with the third one, trust me. It's really funny. And do you know that famous meme, Shadow, where the people in like a crowd are face palming constantly? Yeah. It's from that third movie. So yeah. So Shadow, as I was watching films, how's the rest of your week been?
Pretty well.
Nice one. And Lucky, how's your week been since you last came on?
It's been okay.
That's great to hear. Bonsoir Venom Comics.
And also look when if I were to name one good quality with Casino Royale 7, is that I actually got a power outage. I watched it.
Yeah, I think that power outage was probably like a signal to you that you needed to get away from it for a bit, and you got a break, didn't you?
That's exactly what I thought too. I thought,
yeah.
Oh, thank God.
I mean, take a look at me. You know, I watched it last year, and I took a break to watch Lethal Weapon 2 instead, and have my dinner.
Like, honestly, I was thinking the power outage that I got was a miracle.
I was 15 minutes in when I took a break from it too. It was that terrible and completely not only horrible.
Like I was an hour into it, and that's when the power outage happened.
And Shadow, you were ranting, asking when will this movie just end already or something like that.
I did.
I mean, I can't.
So boring.
I mean, I can't blame you. In my opinion, it's the worst spy movie of all time, and also, in my opinion, a massive insult to Ian Fleming as well. Massive insult.
And like, there were so many things that were out of place. Like,
indeed.
UFO, cowboys and Indians. Like, what?
Yep, indeed, it's terrible, isn't it? You watched Goodfellas by Dollar. Oh, what? Yeah, you saw Goodfellas, did you, about Dollar? That's great. That's my favorite crime movie. What do you say, Blaise?
Hi, Brian. Did you send me a link to my email? Yes, I did.
Okay. Well, Blaise, is he going to be joining at 10 p.m. your time then?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I tell you what, guys. Because of course we're getting Action Stations on, because Richard Epcar could be joining us soon. I might show you guys what I've been doing this week when it comes to unboxings and figures and all that. So today, guys, I unboxed my figure of Hellbat Gold Batman, which I got last week. Love this figure. The wings also open up too, which is pretty cool. So, yeah. There you go. Literally a bat, if you will, a golden bat.
And Lucky just left.
Oh, he left? Oh, dear. Maybe he had to go somewhere or something. I don't know. He could have at least told us, but never mind.
It's all right.
And then, guys, I got 2 figures from Forbidden Planet in Manchester. So one of which was another figure in my Dark Knight series figures. And can you guess what character is? It's a character from the Dark Knight trilogy, Shadow.
Is it Bane?
No, it's not Bane. He's a character you got to build.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you a clue. This character is one of the few characters to appear in all 3 films.
Scarecrow.
Yeah, it's Scarecrow. Cillian Murphy's Scarecrow, who of course will be appearing in Christopher Nolan's newest film, Oppenheimer, very soon.
Nice.
And this comes with.
I just notified Patrick. So
nice one.
Like to join in.
And now, guys, this might also be a nice prize for you as well, because the second figure I got is for a figure of a character who is one of my favorite video game characters of all time, appearing in a video game by my favorite video game company of all time. And this is actually for their upcoming game as well. I found this by pure chance and I grabbed it because I couldn't miss this figure. And I'll give you a clue by saying, of course, the name of the theme song release, which is Be Greater. Together.
Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, it's Spider-Man, Shadow. It's Spider-Man from the PS4 franchise.
Oh.
Yeah, Marvel Legends figure too, yeah. The only downside is the whole thing is like cardboard, so I can't see the figure inside it. Unlike the Marvel Legends figures for some reason, guys. I don't know why. Then, guys, from HMV, I got 2 movies. This is actually for the first time I've been to Manchester, guys. I've not got anything from Kex, which is the first time. Okay, guys, so I got a DC superhero film that I saw this year. And it's a superhero film that involves a character who goes really fast. And I'll give you guys a clue. This film involves, of course, a toilet flushing.
I know
this. And I got this, guys, and you know, I watched this film to see what it was like. And that film that I saw this year, guys, is none other than the Flashpoint Paradox. So yeah, just leave a Flashpoint Paradox on Blu-ray, guys. In my opinion, the Flash movie, the only Flash movie I can accept. So yeah, And Shadow, what were you thinking when I was giving the clues then?
For a second, you were trying to say the Flash.
And how do you want to show Flashpoint Paradox?
Oh, I loved it. Love it.
Yeah, in my opinion, the true Flash movie, only one to me. There's only one in my opinion, and it's that. And then, guys, the second and final film that I got as well from Kex is for a film that released this year that I saw at the cinema, and it's also as well. Okay, can you guys guess what it is? It's a film I saw at.
Is it Super Mario?
And I couldn't find that, unfortunately. I looked badly, couldn't find it.
How about John Wick 4?
Yeah, it's John Wick 4. Yeah, and it's got a cardboard cover on, guys, so let me just take it off. There you go. So it's just the same as, the cardboard one, really. Just, the Blu-ray on the cardboard is black for some reason. So we just call it a black ray. And out on the back there, yeah, there's John in his car in Paris, and yeah, shots from the movie there. So yeah, I got and my John Wick collection is complete, guys. When it comes to the 4 main movies, the only bad quality I could have with John Wick 4 is that a beloved character got the Alien 3 cliche at the start. But other than that, I love the movie. And as far as I'm concerned, it is the end of John Wick as well. But I can't wait for a prequel spin-off called Ballerina coming next year. I think it might be the most anticipated live-action movie of next year, Ballerina. Animation-wise, beyond the Spider-Verse.
Ooh, look who they go.
Yay!
Oh, what's happening? What's happening? What's happened? He's here. Okay, tell him I've got to approve him, Blaze. Okay, here we go. Hang on. Okay, hang on. I need to, verify his role as trusted, yeah? So he can join us. Give him a few minutes and then he can join us.
Oh, man, I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
Wait, how long should I tell him to wait?
Give it a few minutes, Blaze, and then when it's like, 8:35 for me, ask him if he can enter the voice chat where it says Saturday Night Chat. Daniel, it's someone called Richard Epcar. He's a voice actor, known for voicing Raiden in Mortal Kombat and the Joker in various other games too. If you guys have found a Street Fighter, you'll also know him for playing Skywarp Akuma because, and I also know him for playing Skywarp in Transformers War for Cybertron as well. Okay, so this is very exciting.
Man, the special song is coming.
It's going next week. Oh, that's exciting.
Oh man, I'm excited. And I
okay.
Also told Alexander about Richard, and he says that he can't join us because he's in Tomsk.
Okay, no problem. The time zone there's, much further ahead than Moscow, so that makes perfect sense. I hope he's well.
And he also says that it's 2:32 over there, so he's already asleep. So
yeah, of course. Okay, so Richard role's changed, so give it a couple of minutes, Blaze, and then we can invite him. Yeah, that's great, Daniel. So I'm going to rely on you to bring him onto the stream next week because obviously, of course, you have contact with Sean. So yeah.
Things are looking up.
And looks like Blaze also just always back.
Must have been a connection issue, something Shadow. So Shadow, as a rundown, what's your favorite thing that I got this week?
Easily Flashpoint Paradox and John Wick.
Yeah. Nice one. I had you with Flashpoint Paradox to that was your idea. I was pretending I bought the Flash movie from this year, but no, I refuse to watch that movie. I never will see it. I need to take up a real Flash movie.
Gotta get that movie at some point.
Well, hopefully, Shadow, it should be at your stores in Norway. If it's there for me, it should hopefully be there for you.
Yeah, about that. Norway doesn't sell movies anymore.
It doesn't. How come?
I have no idea. Maybe.
That sucks. I mean, can you get on Amazon?
Yeah, I'm getting movies online nowadays.
And because Norway are not making films anymore for release, Shadow, will you be getting it from like another country, with the same region as yours?
I'm gonna see if I can find it.
Well, good luck to you. Hopefully, you won't get one with a wrong region, like with Transformers Prime, eh?
Man.
Yeah, it really sucks when you get a movie and it's the wrong region. Yeah.
And Amazon didn't tell me which region it was for, so that's also fucked. Right.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. Okay, Blaze. So now that Richard appears to be able to respond to his own welcome greeting, tell him to scroll down to where it says Saturday Night Chat. Okay.
Yeah, I told him.
let me also get as well my figure of Raiden ready as well. I've got my figures of to Richard Rose here, Joker and Raiden.
I just messaged him. Oh, you accepted my friend request as well. Nice.
Awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, he's waving.
Yeah, he is. I
That's
just
funny.
he responded to his own thing, which is pretty cool.
Alright, here we go.
Yeah, ready.
And now we wait.
Yeah, you can take his time. No
Well.
rush. No rush. Drum roll.
This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. This is where fun begins.
Yeah, this is where fun begins.
He's just looking for the code now.
It's voice channels under Saturday Night Live General, so.
Have you told him, Blaze, where to go?
Yeah, I told him.
Good. So he'll know where to go. Usually when we have guests, we sometimes don't know where to go, so yeah, that's what I got to tell them, and that's totally understandable. My server's pretty big after all.
And you could tag him in a no mic chat, and he can see us.
Actually, I just messaged him right now.
Yeah, you told him, Blaze. Nice one.
Yeah, I told him.
This is fun.
The Joker is going to join us.
Yeah. Akuma, if you're Street Fighter fan as well.
Oh, yeah. So it's you.
Well, yeah, I've not played Street Fighter yet, so yeah.
I don't know if I can do a good Liu Kang. My heart is kind of katana right now. And Raiden, I know we've had a beef and everything, but let's not let Shang Tsung get to us again.
He's all skinny now.
Yeah, and Vermont is going to be late because he's currently watching Inception.
You're watching Inception, okay. I mean, I can't say no to Inception. It's a masterpiece.
Yeah, I told him that. It was a football masterpiece.
Yeah, I mean, is this his first time watching it?
That's what he told me.
Wow, well, he's definitely in the tree. It's a masterpiece. It's my second favourite film by Nolan, actually, after The Dark Knight.
Yeah, I'd say so too.
It's an absolute masterpiece. I think it requires multiple watches to understand, though, of course. But it's definitely a masterpiece when you watch it over and over again.
Yeah.
I sent him the photo now. He knows what to do.
Excellent.
He's waving.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, that's cool.
I think he's just looking for it now.
Yeah, well, I think he's looking for it.
No rush.
Let's just.
I'm sure. I want to be this high-pitched voice of Joker from Injustice. Wakey, wakey.
That's good.
Well, that was one of his power moves in Injustice.
Yeah, his super move. Yeah, super move.
And while we're waiting, I guess I could also say that I've been playing some more Ghost of Tsushima.
How you finding it, Shadow? How you finding it?
Yeah. Now I'm at the storyline with Geeky Island.
Nice one. You're doing very well so far, aren't you? I mean, how are you finding it so far?
I'm loving it. It's an epic masterpiece.
I'll be posting a review for that game soon, actually, as well. Can't wait to talk about it.
Always replying. Let's see what he's saying.
And I'll also do the same for Last of Us as well. To me, there's only one game of Last of Us. Just one.
Just one.
Oh, yeah, when I was calling Shadow, I was showing him my PS3 games, so then I was like, The Last of Us should have stayed one game.
Well, yeah, you're not wrong, Blaze. There can only be one.
Like, it shouldn't even have been a franchise to begin with.
Exactly.
What shouldn't have been a franchise?
The Last of Us. It should have been just a standalone game, in my opinion.
Yeah, they really put in. Yeah,
because what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, even though I never played the game, Last of Us was a very popular game, and they thought it'd be a good idea to consider the story. The problem is, though, the writing for the second game. It may have got a reward, but it's also because people who spoke against it got silenced pretty badly.
That was just really stupid. They should have, had their voices be kept, loud and not be silenced. It's not right at all.
No, it's not right at all. I mean,
It's horrible.
Told me. Oh,
Yeah.
you're supposed to call him. What's up?
Yeah.
Or Discord.
I mean, if I had to throw in my 2 cents about about everything, what should have been done, you probably could have had more listen to fans of the game, not just new ones, old ones as well.
Mm-hmm.
And what could have been done is new ones could learn about from the old ones. And then next thing you know, you can they could probably say, okay, let's do a good kid story. We can keep Joel,
Mhm.
they can keep all those other characters,
Mhm.
and Abby will probably be developed much better. I mean, here's the thing: any character can be good. It's always on the one thing, and this destroyed many franchises: writing.
Mhm.
Yeah. No wrong there.
Yeah, and this also makes me appreciate lots of old games, guys. You know, I definitely think that and this probably could account to many franchises, but many old games are better than the new ones. All but good, if you will. There's probably some old games I play which, in my opinion, are ahead of their time.
Yep.
Games that were older
Hmm.
are always still great games today. It's just a shame though that they don't get the recognition because of competition. I mean, one game I played, I don't think you guys heard this before, is Midtown Madness.
I don't think I've heard of that.
Never heard of it.
It was a very old game back in the day. And it was on an engine called Windows 98. And Windows 98 was basically a good engine from Microsoft. And then they did Windows 2000 and all those other minutes like me. And all I can say about that is got a good engine. I mean, I understand. Look to the future. Yeah, but the future does. Yeah, but don't look at where your pocketbook is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Shadow. You know when it comes to FNAF, have you got a favorite animatronic character?
That's Freddy.
Good choice. And because of its upcoming release with film, guys, it made me decide to go back to watching some jump scare compilations, and I still get a laugh out of them to this day. Have any of you guys by any chance seen Markiplier's jump scare to Golden Freddy?
Don't think I have.
Oh, it's hilarious. Like, it's really quick, and the way he gets scared. Like, it's hilarious. So I'd definitely, recommend checking it out. I mean, Golden Freddy is absolutely terrifying because he appears out of nowhere. Like, wow. The best way to avoid him is to turn on your camera, isn't it? And then when you turn it off again, he'll be gone, hopefully. So, yeah. And right now, guys, of course, I have company in my room because Susie's on the windowsill and Lily's in my bed, sleeping.
Yeah.
Susie, for some reason, guys, likes to be on a windowsill a lot these days, standing on it and watching the view.
Hello, Roxana, good to see you.
It's AJ, Roxana, not AK, it's AJ. AJ Markle.
Guys, calm down. It's typo.
Yeah.
The J and the K is very easy. Some people have big fingers.
Yeah, Aaron, I'm perfectly calm. I'm perfectly calm, Aaron. I'm just saying, because she's said that quite a lot on the channel, usually, when you've been on. I've noticed, and yeah, I'm just correcting.
Okay, I get what you mean.
So, yeah, Blaze has been on mute for a while, and he's probably talking to Richard, isn't he? Oh, wow. I wonder how he feels talking to Richard. He must be, I think he's starstruck, if you will. I mean, I would be.
Shock, baby. That was wrong.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, Richard, can you hear us?
I can. Where are you calling from?
Oh, hi, Richard. Hi. I'm from the UK. Richard, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, thank.
I'm from Norway.
What the hell kind of a setup is this?
Uh,
I've never seen this bloody thing in my life.
Welcome to a wonderful world of Discord, Richard. It's where we talk to each other and we have a nice chat. So yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
so and
Is this basically just audio? There's no picture or anything?
yeah, it's like that
well,
pretty
you
much.
can
Yeah.
turn your camera on if you want. You can turn your camera on if you want.
Here's my face cam. In case.
But are you recording it with our faces? Or are you just recording audio?
Well.
We're not. I'm not recording. This is just live stream on Luke's end, so just audio on his end.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, you should be able to turn on your camera if you're more comfortable with that.
I don't care.
yeah, that's up to you, though, Richard. Of course, yeah, if you'd like to.
It's up to you. It's up to you.
Just click on it.
Yeah,
I gotta do something
and
else to it.
so if you're wondering, Richard, I'm currently doing like a live stream, and of course, this interview will be seen by people in the audience. If you got any questions for Richard, fire away. And yeah, so and Richard, I don't know if you watch my stream or not, but right now I'm showing off my figures of Raiden and the Joker that I've got.
You're showing what? I'm sorry.
Sorry.
You're showing figures of Raiden and Joker.
Yeah, I've got
two characters
figures
to
of
play.
them, action figures of them.
Yeah, two characters to play voice.
Yeah.
Answer his question where we're from. I'm from the United States. I live in Texas, so also state.
Yeah, and
what part of Texas?
The best way I can say is close to DFW airport, around that area.
Okay, all right.
yeah.
I've been there many times.
Oh, that's cool. And Shadow, do you want to say where you're from, Shadow?
Yeah, I'm from Norway.
Oh, what part?
It's a place called Harstad. Yeah, a small place called Harstad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I've been to Oslo many times. I love it there.
Oh, nice.
yeah, it's a lovely city. And Blaze, where are you from?
I'm from the Czech Republic.
Awesome, yeah. Czech Republic's also a lovely country as well, and I'm of course from the UK. So Richard, I gotta say that you're one of my favorite voice actors, and I've heard you in quite a lot of things, and and of course the Elder God Raiden is my favorite role you've done. I just really love your voice of Raiden.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Raiden is not very tech savvy, though. I gotta tell you.
Oh, really?
He's great when it comes to thunder, but everything else it's not so great. But so
yeah. I actually first. Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Aaron.
I noticed you did the Joker in both the Injustice games, especially that one line in the power move for the Joker. He goes, "Wakey wakey, bam."
Yeah. Yeah, they had some very, very funny stuff written for me. Those guys did a great job. The writing, I think, on both of those games, but particularly Mortal Kombat, I think they do an incredible job on.
Oh, they do.
They're just. I mean, they have scripts. They're like movie scripts, and they're just really well done. And it's always nice when you have a nice script to work off of.
Oh yeah, of course.
It makes your
100%.
job as an actor much better.
It's good to have something with good writing because some corporations are not exactly good at writing these days. It's like, hey, we're gonna throw this in there. What the heck are you doing, my dude?
Yeah. Well, and also I'm a little concerned about this AI stuff that they're.
Oh
yeah. I think it's really scary, Richard. Really scary.
It's really terrifying.
Yeah, I'm not really liking how it's going. I think we should keep voice actors going as long as possible because this whole AI thing is going to make them have a run for their money, isn't it? Really, it's pretty scary.
Yeah, it's pretty scary.
Yeah.
I think I know a perfect loophole. If any AI wants to use any voice actors or try to use anyone's voice, they should get charged. That way, the compensation of money goes to the voice actors, and they can get more money from the AI.
Yeah, well, but the problem is, even now, they've already hijacked my voice for some project.
Oh
in
no!
the UK, actually. Oh, so like this is a scary time we're going through, and it's just not going to get any better. It's going to get worse, unfortunately.
Is there a way you could do a cease and desist on that? Like cease and desist the people behind it?
Well, obviously, it's easier if it's in your country, but if it's in another country, it's not always so easy to do that. there's people all over the world that are going to be doing this stuff. So it's
yeah, it's pretty scary, isn't it? And when it comes to,
I keep trying to turn my camera on and it's not doing anything. I don't understand why.
What device are you using Discord on, Richard?
I'm using it on a Mac.
Okay, so there should be like a camera button, near like red button for you. So if you turn it on, hopefully your camera will switch on. Oh, I think it's working.
Oh, there it is.
It's loading. Okay.
Loading.
Okay. Wait, okay. Everyone, play Japanese music.
There you go. That's right. The intro music.
It's loading. Still loading.
Still loading for me.
Or to represent Mortal Kombat brand.
Techno syndrome. Timeless.
Mortal Kombat. I actually worked on the movie of that a million years ago. I did some voice work on Mortal Kombat, and actually Ed Boon also did some voice work on it, which was kind of funny. But
yeah, it's amazing that.
A million years ago. What is it? I don't understand why.
Sometimes I'm on a MacBook Pro right now, and sometimes it's the internet access can be a bit.
Might actually be your internet there, Richard.
Probably.
If you want, Richard, you can turn the camera off and then back on if that helps as well.
Yeah, keep trying, see if I'll do something. And while waiting for that to be successful, when it comes to roles you've done, Richard, there's actually a role that I had no idea was you, because when I was a kid, I played lots of Transformers video games, and I had no idea. I had no idea that you did the voice of Skywarp in Transformers War for Cybertron. I had no idea that was you until recent times.
Yeah. Well, I've actually been part of Transformer, the franchise, for quite a while. I did. There was a series from Hasbro called Robots in Disguise. I wrote about a third of those.
All right.
Scripts. And I also played Armorhide in that series. So
that's awesome.
I have been part of Transformers for a while, and every once in a while I do get in there and do one of the characters. So it's always fun to do some Transformer stuff.
Yeah, and Scalper was definitely a great part of the game, yeah. And also, when it comes, of course, to my favorite role of yours, Raiden is definitely up there as my #1 favorite, closely followed by Joker. And also, Richard, you can also confirm, can't you, that despite people saying this about your voice, you have not heard Mark Hamill's voice of a Joker, have you?
No, I have not. I still haven't to this day. I haven't heard. But what's kind of fun about that was, when I first of all, it was interesting when I first was cast as a Joker. A lot of people were pissed off before they even heard me because I guess they thought I was going to do my no voice for the Joker, which wouldn't make any sense really. But anyway, when I did the Joker, they said I was trying to copy Mark Hamill, and I've never heard Mark Hamill do the Joker. So somebody came online one day and said the same thing, that I'm trying too hard to sound like Mark Hamill, and I said thank you for the compliment. I said, but I've never heard Mark's Joker. And to this day, it's still true. And then Mark Hamill came on and said, well, I've heard yours, and it's wonderful. And I thought,
wow,
that was very, very
wow. That's amazing.
To be praised by Mark Hamill must be incredible. That's amazing.
Yeah, I thought, what a great guy.
Yeah, he is.
He seems like a very lovely person.
Yeah, I think he's a national treasure.
I worked with Mark on a Robotech movie
called
Shadow Chronicles, which I co-directed that project and play Captain Vince Grant in it. So he was in it also, and he had a few different characters that he played in it. So, but it was interesting because at that time, I didn't know I was going to be doing the Joker, so it would have been interesting had I known. We could have maybe talked about that, but anyway.
Well,
I haven't seen him since.
Anyway, on about the Joker, what was the funniest line from any of the Injustice series of Joker that you've done? The funniest line.
There's a lot of them, but the one that sticks in my mind is the pancakes. Why does she hate pancakes?
Oh, love that voice, Richard.
Thank you.
So, and also, Richard, when it comes to Mark Hamill, did you hear that he no longer wants to voice Joker anymore? Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Well,
I heard that, but
yeah,
he's been saying that for a while, so
yeah.
who knows?
Yeah,
But I think it's Kevin Conroy.
Yeah, it's because we sadly lost Kevin Conroy, isn't it? Yes, so I think his reasoning for not wanting to voice him anymore is perfectly justifiable in this circumstance. So, with that being said, Richard, would you be open to being like the new like current Joker voice? You know, like who they'd call to voice Joker nowadays? Would you be open to that?
Of course, I would be very open to that, but sadly, it's not up to me. It's up to.
Oh yeah, it's up to the director, of course. Yeah.
And the problem with a lot of these shows, and I call everything a show, whether it's a game, whatever it is, I call them all shows. But the problem with these shows is that you get a new director, a new production team in there, and they all want to make it their own deal. They want to create their own deal. So it makes it very difficult to have any continuity, particularly in characters like that. So. I think it's great when there are companies, like Marvel tries to keep the characters pretty much the same. They try to keep that continuity, and I think that actually helps them tremendously. And I think Warner Brothers does the exact opposite and tries to shake it up on every single outing. And I just don't think that serves them very well.
Yeah, and I see that the most recent time you played Joker was in MK11, wasn't it? In 2019, wasn't it? Which is pretty. I love how they added Joker to that, and so I've got to ask, how do the recordings? How did it work for MK11? Because obviously they released new content for that game, didn't they, in 2020? So like, did you do all the recordings when the game was being made, Rich, or did you like be brought back for additional dialogue recordings?
Well, both of those things are true. I mean, sometimes they know what they want and they record it all in one deal, or one time frame. But many times they're adding stuff after the game is supposedly done, and so they'll bring you back to voice all the new stuff. So yeah, it just depends. It depends on the project. They're all a little different.
Yeah. It's pretty cool that they got you to play Joker in that, and so I definitely think you definitely deserve a chance to play Joker again, and because I think you definitely do a great job playing him.
I would love it. He's one of my favorite characters. The way that whole thing came about was a long time ago, about 15 years ago. I was called in by Bridget Berdine to audition for this new game, which was called Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe.
Yeah, that's where I first heard you.
Oh man!
And so I went in there, and they wanted me to audition, and they had Warner Brothers on the line, they had NetherRealm Studios on the line, they had DC Comics on the line. So
wow.
Basically, they said, Richard, they want you to audition for everybody. So it was kind of like being a kid in a candy shop. And then, when the Joker came up, I had never really tried to do the Joker. I don't know, this voice just kind of came out of me, and the laugh and everything, and it just was really fun. And honestly, it was the most fun character of the group to voice. So as I was leaving, the casting director asked me, she said, they like you for everything. What did you like doing the best? And I said, they never ask the actor. They don't care what the actor likes doing. It's usually up to the producers and director. But I said, honestly, I loved doing the Joker. The Joker was really fun, and I loved doing Raiden. And lo and behold, about a week later, they called me, and I booked both of those characters. And I've been playing both of those characters for 15 years. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah. So that was how the whole thing started. And then, as you mentioned, Mark is very popular for playing the Joker. So there was a lot of people did not like the fact that I was playing the Joker and let me know. But I think I won a lot of people over, in the end. So that was nice. But yeah, it was fun. He's a tremendously fun character to play. And
he
actually,
is.
To play Raiden and to play the Joker is really like playing yin and yang, because Raiden is a very noble, honorable character, and Joker is a very horrible, sinister character. So they're basically polar opposites, and it's just fun to play those characters.
Yeah, it's amazing. And when you recorded the Joker for the Injustice games, Richard, were you recorded like separately with the directors, or did you record with other cast members with you in the scenes recording? How did that work?
Well, the games generally record one character at a time.
All right.
And
That's cool.
And they cut them together. Now, when we do record, like I did a show called Legend of Korra, and we recorded it the old-fashioned way, which is the old-fashioned way is basically like a radio show, and you go in and they have the actors there and you record it, and then they animate to the tracks, which is really nice because then you have actual actors there to act off of. Whereas most of the time, I would have to say 99% of the time, you're in the booth by yourself just doing the characters.
Yeah, and when it comes to the roles you played, Richard, would you say you've got a favourite role you've played that you love playing the most, or would you say that you enjoy voice acting as a whole when it comes to characters you play?
I've been very, very fortunate. I really love most of the characters I play. The only ones I don't like are the ones where you're screaming, for 4-hour sessions.
Oh yeah, that's understandable.
Wait, Richard, wasn't you screaming when you were playing Akuma?
Yeah, Akuma's a tough one because after doing him for a few hours, you feel like you've gargled battery acid.
Oh wow.
It's not great on your throat, but he's a tough one to do. He has a very rough voice, but I enjoy most of the characters I play. Raiden and Joker are definitely high on my list. I love those guys. And, there's a lot of them. Bato from Ghost in the Shell, Ansem from Kingdom Hearts, Jigen from Lupin the Third. I've done over 1,200 characters, so it's not always easy to remember them all. But there's a lot of them I like, and I'm doing some new characters now that I'm very happy to be doing, and so it's fun. I enjoy it, and I enjoy playing different kinds of characters, and
that's brilliant.
Yeah.
I love that energy you've got. I love the energy you've got, Richard, where you love all your characters you play. Well, for the most part.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It's the thing I really love about voice acting, as opposed to on camera acting, is that you can be any character you can vocally imagine, which is really nice. And in many ways, I think it's much more creative, if you want to know the truth. Because when you think about it and you look at the actors that are on TV shows, for the most part, even if they go to different shows, they're basically playing themselves in a different situation. So I just love doing the voice stuff because you can mix it up and do whatever you want. So
yeah. You have a point there, Richard.
Yeah. I think many actors can show a lot more skills through their voice work. Really, it's very impressive. Really.
Yeah, it can be a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
I think we've done some trying to do voice acting ourselves. Luke has done some voice comparisons on his channel. He still has them up, I think.
Yeah, and if you, in case you're wondering, Richard, I did a voice comparison for Sky Open, and I included you on it, so that was definitely fun to do.
Oh, thank you. All right,
yeah,
good.
And if you're wondering as well, Richard, I'm also an aspiring voice actor myself. I do voice impressions mainly of Transformers characters, and so I definitely know how it feels to do intense voice work.
Well, I can agree. I can agree. Well, me doing Soundwave, that was really hard.
Yeah, Soundwave is definitely a very complex character to voice, indeed. Yeah.
Yeah, we did Soundwave on War for Cybertron. Also, there was 3 or 4 of us that basically just kind of harmonized our voices for that character.
Oh wow! So it wasn't just Isaac T. Singleton, Richard. It wasn't just him. That's cool.
Yeah, it wasn't just Skywarp. It was Soundwave also. Yeah.
Wow.
If you could tell by our voices, can you picture any character we can voice as? Like, say you hear our voice and you think, this guy can voice this character, for example.
Well, I don't know. It would depend, And honestly, you can't always just tell by somebody's voice. I mean, you all have nice voices, but you can't just tell by somebody's voice. You have to
Richard.
reading a piece of script, And the thing about the script is you really need to bring those words off the page and bring
of course, 100%.
The thing that a lot of people don't realize is that we don't get to see the scripts until we go to the end of the booth. So we don't have time to work on them or to think about them or anything like. You just have to go in the booth and jump into it, and you have to cold read a performance, which is a very difficult part of the job actually, and people don't realize it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So when I was playing Tekken 7, I was actually surprised that you were playing Geese Howard.
Yeah. As I said, I've done over 1,200 characters. It's a lot of characters.
That's pretty cool.
And Richard, question for you. What exactly inspired you to become a voice actor?
Well, I don't know if I was inspired to become a voice actor. I'm an actor, so I came out to Los Angeles to be an actor, and I did a bunch of on-camera stuff. I did a bunch of soaps and TV shows and that sort of thing. And actually, my wife kind of got me into the voice thing. I mean, it's funny. I talked to some of my friends I grew up with as a kid, and they were saying, "Hey, you were always doing voices." So I didn't realize that. I kind of forgot about that. But so I guess part of me did enjoy that or want to do that, but. My wife kind of got me into it, and she was doing a movie, and the company she was working on a movie for had another movie they wanted to revoice. They didn't like the actors, and they wanted to revoice all the actors. So they had auditions, and she said, "Can I bring in my boyfriend, who was me?" And I went in, and I auditioned, and I got the lead character. And that company hired me for a bunch of movies after that, and then from that, I got into Robotech. And from Robotech, I just started working, and I have not stopped working since. And to this day, I work constantly. So
that's cool.
It's really, it's been a great thing for me. It really has.
Yeah, that's amazing. And when it comes to when it comes to things in life, Richard, one of my subscribers mentioned this at one point on one of my streams, and I'm not sure if it's true or not. I just wanted to confirm from you. Is it true that your favorite movie of all time is Goldfinger?
Well, it's certainly one of my favorite Bond movies, that's for sure, yeah.
Yeah, because one of my subscribers said that, and I can see why, because that's my favorite James Bond movie of all time.
Yeah, same here, man.
It's a great Bond movie.
It is. Incredible.
If my camera would work, you would see my office, and in my office, I have Bond posters all over my office.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
wow.
That's really cool. Yeah, really cool.
Huge Bond fan, yeah.
Yeah, and also as well, I think the same subscriber also mentioned that apparently the worst one you've seen is Never Say Never Again. Is that right, Richard?
Yes, that is true.
Yeah,
that is the worst
and
Bond movie
I can see I can see why, because I hate that movie, Richard. I don't know what they'll think in making that movie. I thought it was terrible.
Wait, so wow, it's Universal Casino Royale 7. Damn.
I mean, have you seen that movie, Richard? The 1967 Casino Royale movie. Have you seen that?
You mean the original Casino Royale movie?
From it's like a parody film from 1967. Have you seen that?
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
As you guys would say, it's bloody awful.
Yeah, I mean, I actually saw it this week, Richard, and God, that was one of the worst experiences I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But Richard, but one good thing that happened to me though was, like, when I got 1 hour into the movie, the power shut off.
That was a lucky thing, huh?
Yeah, I was thinking, like, thank God.
You know what's funny? What's interesting is they released.
Patrick.
Oh, Richard, we have another friend of mine who's come to see you as well. This is Patrick, Richard.
Hi, Patrick.
Hello there. Didn't mean to interrupt. You can continue what you were saying. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Richard. You finish what you're saying about James Bond if you want to, yeah?
There's a couple of things I wanted to say about that movie, Never Say Never Again. I'm trying to remember the guy's name, Terrence something, who kind of co-wrote Thunderball with Ian Fleming, and he because he kind of co-wrote it, he retained some of the rights to that particular story. So that's why basically Never Say Never Again is a remake of Thunderball, and it's not a very good remake. It's the original was so much better.
Oh, I agree totally.
But that's what they had they had the rights to make that particular movie, so that's what they did. And because it was not an Ian movie, the Ian company that makes the actual James Bond movies, they couldn't use the James Bond theme. They couldn't say "My name is Bond, James Bond." They couldn't do the martini shaken on a stirred. So they couldn't, all those things, those elements that really help make a Bond movie. They couldn't use any of that stuff. And then they got one of the guy who did the music. He was horrible. That was the worst score of any movie I've ever heard in my life. It was just terrible.
Yeah, and, I couldn't believe it.
It was terrible.
You still talking about Never Say Never Again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, wow. I thought the music for Casino Royale 67 was awful, but damn, it's never again that worse.
Well, Casino Royale is another situation where they, at the time, the guys that were making the movie, they had the rights to Casino Royale, and Eon didn't have the rights, so they wanted to make their own Bond movie. Well, they wanted Connery to play their Bond, and Ian said absolutely not. So they just figured, well, if we can't get Connery, we'll have to make it a parody. So they made it a parody, and it was horrible. It was just I can't even watch it. It's so bad.
I mean, Richard, I would describe the movie as just pure torture.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
and
so what was interesting is they took a piece of Never Say Never Again, and they overdubbed John Barry's music from one of the other Bond movies, and oh my God, it makes the movie 1,000 times better. Just that little piece of it with his music, it just makes it so much better. And, you realize how important John Barry was to all those movies. He was like
legend, absolute legend.
Yeah, it was legendary. It was like one of the characters. The music was like one of the characters. It was so strong and prominent.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Patrick.
So this was something I discovered a while back, and it kind of blew my mind when I discovered this. So I'm a big voice acting nerd. I might as well just admit it. And I do a lot of research for stuff because I make videos called voice comparisons that basically compare different actors that have played the same roles so that people can be like, this actor is my favorite for this character.
Right.
And because of that, I have to do a lot of research. And one thing I discovered was that back in the 90s, there were a bunch of anime dubs of a lot of stuff, basically. And you starred in a lot of those. I don't remember if you were in Cowboy Bebop or not, but that was like a big one.
Yeah, I did. I was in the movie Cowboy Bebop, but I never worked on the series.
Okay, yeah. And the thing I discovered that blew my mind was that one of the actors that starred in a lot of those same projects back in the 90s was a relatively, I think he was young at the time, but a relatively young and up-and-coming actor at the time who would go on to become, well, let's just say a big recognizable star, and that was Bryan Cranston.
Yeah. Brian's a very dear friend of ours, actually, and Brian.
Oh wow!
And Brian and I starred together in Macross Plus, and Brian did a few of these dubs with us, and we're to this day we're very good friends, and we see Brian on occasion, and he's a great guy and a wonderful actor. He's had an incredible career.
Yeah, he has, no doubt about that.
Yeah. You start out.
He was, for example, the voice of Feng Long in the Street Fighter II animated movie back in 1995, from what I can tell.
Yeah.
I gotta say, it's not a lot, but I do think you sound a little bit like him, I gotta say.
Yeah, people have said that. They have said that.
Yeah.
And Brian and I also did a lot of the the monsters and stuff and Power Rangers and all that kind of crap. So it was we did a lot of that crazy stuff.
I can definitely imagine you also could probably do the say my name line pretty well.
Well, he's been incredibly blessed and fortunate in his on-camera career, and he deserves it. He's a terrific actor.
He is.
Absolutely.
Ironically enough, you've both voiced James Gordon from Batman.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I see him play it in live action.
Yeah,
I think he'd make a great choice for Commissioner Gordon in live action. Actually, it's a shame it's not happened yet.
Yeah, he would be great at that.
Yeah,
really
and come to think of it, Richard, I definitely think your voice has quite some similarity to Brian when I hear you talking now. So I think you could probably play one of his characters one day in like a video game or something.
Well, I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad, the video game.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad, the video game. Yeah.
Yeah, and have you seen the show, Richard, Breaking Bad?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's one of the greatest shows of all time. And have you also seen the spin-off Better Call Saul, Richard?
Yes, of course.
Oh, brilliant! So you're up to date with it, brilliant, yeah. I think
brilliant.
it's just really incredible how it does like a shared universe in these two shows and the movie, just like that. They do a really great job with it.
Right. Yeah, no, those are two incredible series, and the first one, Brian did an amazing job in that, and listen, they didn't want him at first, he had to really fight for that part, and
I'll definitely say it deserved that role.
Yeah, he did, 100%.
Similar to when they wanted to hire. Isn't it similar to when they wanted to hire Bruce Willis to be in Die Hard?
Yeah, well, a lot of times these guys, they go, even with Sean Connery, they didn't want him as Bond. And
I heard about that. Yeah,
they did. They did not want him. Well, he wasn't well known, and they didn't want him, and they didn't think he would. And you know what? I can't imagine anybody better than Sean. I can't imagine anybody better than Brian for Breaking Bad. And there's so many of these stories. Even Indiana Jones. They wanted Tom Selleck, and he couldn't do it. So they wanted Harrison Ford, and honestly,
was better.
Yeah, he's much better. He's perfect for that part. So,
absolutely.
And
it's amazing how sometimes things happen, and they happen for the better,
Yeah, of course. And when it comes,
he actually interviewed another actor that was in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, who's also a fellow voice actor, J.D. Bunk.
Oh yeah, JB.
JB's a good friend of ours also.
We spoke to JB. He was a really nice guy. Really nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
JB's a good dude.
He was great.
And
he's a good guy.
Yeah, he is.
We give him shit we give each other shit all the
time. And when it comes as well to voice actors too, Richard, as well. Also thanks to JB as well. We also got to interview Fred Tarshaw. Have you ever met Fred, Richard?
Greg, who?
It's not Fred Tarshaw. Fred Tarshaw.
Freddie and I are good friends too. We're very good friends.
Yeah, we spoke to Fred several weeks ago, and we had a great talk with him as well. We had lots of great guests on here, and you're definitely no exception, Richard.
Oh, thank you.
I
appreciate it.
Yeah, we also had Vic Chow and Peter Tissot.
And also, not too long ago, we had
Keith Sharbaivka, yeah.
And,
really good actor.
He was also a great guy to talk to.
Yeah, really class, I might say. And Richard, you know how you said that some roles are all meant for one actor, like of course James Bond with Sean Connery and Bryan Cranston as Walter White. Well, I think that could be applied to you as Raiden, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
That actually makes me curious. What do you think of Dave B. Mitchell as Raiden in the Mortal Kombat Legends movies?
I've never heard Dave's Raiden, so I don't know.
All right. Well, I think he does a great.
Honestly,
I think he does a great job.
I wasn't thrilled. I wasn't thrilled about it, hearing that they hired somebody else to do Raiden in an animated movie. Of course, I always, you get close to these characters, and you feel like you want to own them, even though you can't own them. They're not really your characters; they're the company's characters. So
yeah, of course.
But you get very close and attached to them, and you want to continue being that character, and it makes it hard when somebody else is doing those characters. But listen, the reality is that everybody, just like when I stepped into the Joker role, everybody has their take on the character, and everyone's going to do it a little differently, and everybody's Hamlet is going to be different than everybody else's Hamlet. So that's part of acting. You just kind of jump in and you do your version of that character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. And I think your take on Raiden is amazing, Richard. And speaking of Raiden, have you by any chance heard about the new Mortal Kombat game called Mortal Kombat 1 coming out soon?
I've heard about it, and I'm not in it, so I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, it's addiction, anyway, Richard.
Yeah, because Richard, I saw a trailers, and when I saw Raiden, I was thinking, please be Richard. But then when I heard the voice, I was like, oh no, it's not Richard.
Yeah, I don't know what they did or what they're doing. I think they're trying to reboot it or something.
Yeah, they are. You're right. It's a reboot.
I think even Sub-Zero was no voice by Steve Blum in MK1.
Yes, we didn't get Steve back as him. I think it's B Han, not Kuai Liang, isn't it, Blaze? That's why, isn't it?
Apparently, Kuai Liang is Scorpion in the game.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, does it? Scorpion's Hanzo Hasashi. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, so...
I'll say this: when it comes to Raiden, I have 3 actors I like in the role the most. There's a DJ host named Alan Stagg, I think that's how you say it, who voiced him in the 2002 game Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance.
He's
who,
good.
Like, has one of the coolest voices I've ever heard. And then, of course, there's J.B. Mitchell from the Legends movies, and then you, of course.
Okay. Thank you. I'm glad you included me in that group.
Yeah, I mean, you're my number 1 choice.
Voices for Raiden.
Thank you.
Here's a question I don't know if you've heard, but have you heard of the series Five Nights at Freddy's? There's a new Five Nights at Freddy's movie coming out in October.
I'm sorry, repeat that because the entire time you were telling me the name of it, you broke up, so I didn't hear that. Say that again, please.
Okay. I heard of Five Nights at Freddy's, considering there's a movie coming out in October.
No, I've never heard of that. Five Nights at Freddy's.
It was created by a man named Scott Cawthon. He created the game series in 2014, and then it was a horror genre. And then he released, after several years, he finally released the movie in October of this year, October 27th.
Okay.
And the characters never really had voices, but over the years, people tried to do their own rendition of some of the voices before, or there's just hit voices, because the animatronics are being controlled by Revenant, which is souls of the children. So creepy vibe there.
Yeah. This franchise is really dark.
Yeah, it's a dark horror franchise.
Also, try not to explain too much of it, or else we're just gonna confuse the hell out of Richard.
Yeah, let's not get too into it.
I just said some part. And to send a rendition of voices, there's 4 characters to start off: Freddy, Chica, Bonnie, and Foxy. Those are the 4 main. Yeah. He's a bear, Bonnie's a bunny, chicken, and Foxy, fox.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own rendition of voice. Like Freddy's is more like in the first game it's like like that type of voice. And Bonnie doesn't really have a voice. People do their rendition as being a cool guy. It's like, hey everyone, my name is Bonnie. Well, that type of thing. Chica's a female, says Chica. So trying to voice of Chica is like trying to put say you're Justin Bieber, but can't even make your voice that high because puberty hit. That's how it feels like. Yeah, it's like Chica's like very high pitched, like Fatty, like you can't do that. It sounds like you're on hormones, for goodness sakes.
Yeah.
And Foxy is more of a pirate, so it's kind of an obvious thing, like I am Foxy the pirate, that type of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Although lately with the pirate things, they want you to go against that, which I think is ridiculous. But you got to do what they want you to do. But yeah, when you think of pirates, you think of that kind of a voice, and then you want to do that kind of voice, and they don't want you to do that kind of voice.
It's like that old, it's like when Ronnie Rotten was a pirate in Lazy Town. It's like, what's the pirate that be? You are a pirate. That type of thing.
Oh yeah, I remember Lazy Town. Watching when I was a kid. Great show, Lazy Town.
Lazy Town, the Icelandic show.
Yeah, I had no idea it was made in Iceland. I had no idea until you told me, Blaze. So yeah, it was a great show. Never gets old.
I was surprised as well.
Yeah. And also Richard, you know when it comes to how you voice your characters, isn't it also true that when you first voice a character, you look at them first before you voice them, so you can guess how they sound?
Yeah, I mean, obviously for me that's ideal if I can see a picture of the guy, because then I can get an idea what the guy, I try to make it sound as though the voice I come up with is going to come through that face. So if I can see them, that it helps a lot. But honestly, you never know. Sometimes you go in there and they don't have pictures. Sometimes they just have a brief description of the character. Sometimes they don't even have that. And sometimes you just have to rely on the director to kind of give you an idea what's going on. So, they're all different, but you just have to kind of jump in and do it, basically.
Yeah, jump in right there.
It actually kind of reminds me of, have you seen Star Wars, Richard?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, it definitely reminds me a bit of what I heard in an interview with Ian McDiarmid, the guy who plays Palpatine. explained that when he did Return to Jedi originally, they hadn't initially entirely agreed upon what the voice was going to be, but when he first looked in the mirror and saw himself in all the makeup, he says it was at that point that he was able to really just kind of naturally come up with what the voice for the character should sound like.
Yes. Yeah, it helps. I mean, for me, and I'm just speaking from my point of view, it helps me tremendously if I can see a picture of it, because as I said, once I see a picture of the character, I'm going to know what that guy's going to sound like. So that helps me tremendously to see that. And, I know a lot of actors are like that as well, but some actors go through different. Every actor has their own process they do, and they're all different. So, everybody has their own way of approaching a character.
And Richard, out of curiosity, what's your favorite Star Wars movie?
My favorite Star Wars movie? Well, honestly, I like a lot of them. I don't like. I love the first one. That's really my ultimate favorite. And my wife actually did a version of that movie that she dubbed into the Navajo language. And it was the first time that an English movie, was dubbed into a Native American language, and it was a huge success within the Navajo Nation, and they loved it. And because they had people that still spoke Navajo there, and then they had the younger people that spoke English, and they couldn't really talk to each other. And the younger people didn't really have any desire to learn the language, and the language was dying. So this was a really great way to help bring back some interest in their native tongue. And so it was really fun. And she recorded all that stuff in New Mexico, and we flew down there for the premiere, and it was a big success. And it was a lot of fun. So I love that movie, and also because of that movie, we have Star Wars today. Now, the ones I don't like are the three that George Lucas decided to come back and do those three that I just didn't think.
The prequels.
They just were not very good. And I think if those movies were the movies that he started with, I don't think you'd have the franchise today that you have. It was really have that franchise because the first movie was so great.
And of course, growing their fan base, but again, every Star Wars movie is going to have its haters and its lovers.
Yeah, of course.
True.
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I like the new ones, and I like the Mandalorian's pretty cool, and I think they have some very good stuff that they're doing with it and making it getting it back on track. And I think I don't know if George was just kind of maybe he was running out of ideas or whatever, but I think he's a brilliant creator.
Yes, he is.
I don't think he's a great director for actors.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Wait, I see. He's great at coming up with ideas, but I think sometimes he needs someone to kind of work like a filter.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And in my opinion, though, George is my favorite director of all time.
And Richard, just out of curiosity, have you seen the recent Star Wars movies? The recent trilogy from 2015 to 2019.
I probably have. I don't know that I remember them, to be honest with you. But
Of course, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and
I have seen them. Yeah, I like the latest ones. I like those, but it's those three that George did before he sold the company to Disney. I wasn't crazy about.
And
everyone's gonna have their different opinions.
To each his own.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
My favorite piece of Star Wars media is Star Wars: The Clone Wars, which I think is a fantastic animated show. I think some of your voice acting buddies was in it.
A lot were, yeah.
My favorite piece of Star Wars media, fantastic show, and again, we wouldn't have gotten that if the prequels hadn't been made.
Right. Well, listen. One of the greatest moments of my career was I was in 2 Star Wars games. And so that was exciting for me to work with Lucasfilms and do 2 of their games.
Which games were those in the Star Wars?
There was the Old Republic is one, and then there was something with the Empire, which I can't remember right now. But
Oh yeah,
But
I just looked it up. You're an additional voice actor in the Old Republic, and I'm trying to see if I can figure out what the other Star Wars game is.
I am thinking of the Star Wars.
It's funny that they say I'm an additional actor when I did like 40 characters in that thing.
Yeah, like, wow.
Oh, wow.
I have the Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga for the Wii.
Yeah.
I actually have 3.
I just looked it up. I just discovered you were in the original animated X-Men show from the 90s.
Yeah, someone called Gladiator, I think it is. Gladiator, yeah. And and also, Richard, is it true that you did the voice of Sandman in Marvel Ultimate Alliance for your Black Order?
Yes, I've done him a couple of 2-3 times now.
Oh, that's cool. When it comes to Sandman, Richard, have you got any chance seeing him in the Spider-Man movies, like Spider-Man 3, for example?
Yeah, I have seen him. I'm not trying to sound like him.
Yeah, of course.
I'm just trying to do my own thing with him, and basically, Sandman he's kind of a thuggy character who just kind of gets transformed into this sand character, but he's basically kind of a low life bank robber kind of guy.
Yeah, of course, and when it comes to, of course, your times playing the Joker, Richard, didn't you voice him for like an attraction called the Joker Funhouse?
Yeah, that was actually a lot of fun. We did. Kevin Conroy did Batman. I did the Joker, and Tara Strong did what's her face?
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn.
I remember Tara Strong did Raven a few times, but even in Injustice.
Yeah, she did Harley Quinn in this, and it was really fun to do that. And I guess I think it's a Warner Brothers. What do you call it? Amusement park that's in Dubai, actually. So,
yeah, I think it is. Yeah, because I remember watching one of your old interviews, Richard. I think you mentioned that you did a voice for this ride in Dubai, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool. I said to them, "You need to send me there so I can see the ride."
And
they wouldn't do that.
Oh, have you not been on the ride yet, Richard? Oh, wow.
I've not been on the ride. I would love to go on the ride.
I mean, how does it feel that your Joker could probably be like scaring children who go on the ride, little children. Imagine that.
I think it's great.
Yeah, and when it comes to Kevin Conroy, Richard, have you ever met Kevin Conroy?
I haven't met Kevin.
Oh, what a shame.
Wonderful things about him. That's a shame. And he was Batman in several of the games that I worked on as the Joker.
Yes,
so
he was.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Yeah,
very fun.
Yeah, your Joker and his Batman had great scenes together in the games you were in, and Kevin Conroy, in my opinion, is another example of an actor who's the only one I can see for one role. In my opinion, he's the greatest Batman of all time.
Yeah, he did a great job with that, and that's kind of a double-edged sword. I mean, he was so well known for that, he basically couldn't do anything else, so he was kind of relegated to playing that character all the time. But fortunately for him, he worked constantly as Batman, so that was good. But for me, that would be a little rough. I would.
Yeah.
I don't think I would want to just be stuck playing one character all the time. I want to play different characters.
And again, he kind of already have. Richard,
Yeah.
Mind if I ask something?
Yeah, go ahead, Lucky. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Ask him anything.
Do you remember working on this show called Macross Plus as this character called Gold Goer Bowman?
Yes.
And I just want to ask, how is it like working alongside the legendary Bryan Cranston, and you even got to share some scenes where you're basically fighting him in the 4th episode?
We had a whole conversation about that. I guess you came a little late to the show, but we talked about that. Bryan is a dear friend of mine and my wife's, and we're still in touch with Bryan. We see him all the time, and we saw him recently in Broadway when he did he did Network, which was incredible. He was phenomenal in it, and we went backstage and hung out with him for a while. And we see Bryan, from time to time, and he's a marvelous actor, and
yes,
he's had an incredible career. So yeah, it's great. It's great working with him. It's great seeing him, and he is truly one of the nicest people you'll ever meet.
I
can imagine.
And to add, how was it like working with the late Kevin Seymour, the voice director from Animals?
Kevin was great. You know, he was a very kind of a quirky guy, very much a nerd, and loved all of the stuff with anime. He was, you know, he was the one that brought Ghost in the Shell over from Japan, and we started dubbing on it, and you know, cast me as Bato in it, and you know, I've been able to this day, I'm still playing Bato, which is great. And he was, you know, he was a character, and you know, I liked Kevin immensely. He was had a really good heart. Was a really good guy, and really cared deeply about these projects.
Yeah, that's wonderful, caring about projects. Yeah, I think that can help projects go really well when the people in charge of it, of course, care about them really, of course.
Yeah.
Though your first collaboration with Kevin Seymour was on this movie called Ninja Scroll, I believe. Ninja Scroll.
Yeah. I played Gemma, Lord Gemma, in that. And you know, it's kind of a funny thing. That movie was done about 20 years ago. We dubbed it about 20 years ago. And I went to a convention one time, and they were asking me about it. And I said, you know, honestly, I've never seen the movie. And they couldn't believe that. So they got me a copy of the movie. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the movie or not, but I'm watching it back on the plane coming back home to LA, and there's a scene where there's a giant, and there's this little girl, and he picks up this little girl and takes off her clothes and starts licking her like a lollipop. And as I'm watching this, I felt like everybody in the plane was looking at me like I was a pervert or something. So I immediately closed my computer and I watched the rest of it later. But it's truly an incredible movie. The animation's wonderful and the story's incredible, and the character I play is a really wonderful character. So I'm glad I finally got to see it. You know, I don't get to see a lot of the stuff I work on, sadly, because
really?
we go in and we do the work.
And Richard, can you please tell me the name of the movie?
Ninja Scroll.
Ninja Scroll. Okay. I might actually give it a watch someday.
Yeah,
it's a fun one.
Yeah. Go ahead, Blaze. That's Richard. Go on, Blaze.
Richard, have you ever did motion capture for games?
Yes. I did one for it's called Just Cause. What's the name? But I think it was one of the
I've played Just Cause. Yeah, great franchise.
It was so I did it, but then I did one for what's the one where everybody's got the plague and they're all dying, and they did a couple of movies on it, and you know, a huge franchise.
I thought about Final Destination.
No.
Okay. So you mentioned the plane and everyone dying.
Yeah, this is a plague and everyone's dying. It's you know, a very, very big franchise. Anyway, I can't think of it right now.
Does it involve zombies, Richard?
Yeah, it could be zombies.
Oh, okay.
All right. I think. Are you thinking of Resident Evil, Richard?
Yeah, Resident Evil. Thank you. Resident Evil. So one of the Resident Evils, I can't remember which one it was. I motion captured the president.
Oh,
and
wow.
The president gets bit at one point, and he turns into a zombie.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Wow.
So that was fun. That was a lot of fun to do that. Yeah.
And how did it feel having all those, like, you know, tracker balls on your face, Richard, when you did the walk? How did that feel?
Not great. If you go on some of my social media, I have a picture of myself in the I call it the ping pong suit. And they have
good one.
But yeah, but it's you know, the cool thing about it was that you know, you get to shoot it a few times before you put on the ping pong ball suit. And it's very much like they're shooting a movie. So so that part was terrifically fun. And then you go back and you shoot with the ping pong ball suit, and you know, then it's you do the same thing, but you're in that suit. So, but yeah, it's interesting. I would certainly love to do more of that. I'm a huge guy. I don't know if you know that I'm 6'6", so I'm a big guy.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's not easy to find a ping pong ball suit that'll fit me, quite frankly. So,
well, in case you're wondering, Richard, you're actually 2 inches taller than me. because I'm 6'4".
There you go.
So that's
Wait,
pretty
Richard,
cool.
is the character called Adam Benford?
Imagine where you're just you're walking, accidentally crash into a door frame by accident.
Well, no, because I'm usually aware of where I'm going. But I remember when I was in college, and they would always ask if I was going to be in the play or not, because if I was in the play, they would raise the door a little higher for me. So that was nice.
I just imagine like someone like, where's Richard? There he is. But I'm not saying you don't see. I'm saying you don't see it because I just try to add the comedy, valid comedy, but I also trying to balance comedy and more seriousness because I'm actually trying to work on a script myself for a fan film I'm trying to work on. It's called.
Oh, that's great, wonderful.
It's called Into the Shadows. It's it basically starts off with Fight the Phrase on one part, but second part is like Slender Man. So
that's very cool.
Yeah,
and that's how you get started. You just start doing projects and writing them and doing them, and then that's how you get in the business. You know, you create your own deal.
Yeah, I mean, I've always I like Fight the Phrase. I like Slender Man because Slender Man is like the awesome character. But I kind of put my own idea into it that makes sense to the audience instead of this mystery like what happened next. I'm like, no, we're gonna put a straight answer to this right now.
Let me ask you guys something because I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, sure.
What did you guys think of the new Flash movie?
Well, Richard, I don't want to watch it personally. It doesn't interest me.
Yeah, I don't want to see it because it features an actor I absolutely despise.
Yeah.
Which is Ezra Miller.
So what did Ezra Miller do that everybody hates him? What happened?
He abuses women. He does crimes, and his excuse is going by pronouns. And apparently he gets away with it.
At one time he made like a fake bomb threat.
Yeah, that.
He choked a fan. He did choke a fan. I just want to point out.
And he
apparently he launched on a guy playing darts.
Yeah, and then apparently also Richard, he apparently also started a cult.
Yeah, so that's a reason
all this stuff is happening.
Yeah.
Why do you think they cast him? Because honestly, I mean, I saw the movie, and I mean, I didn't know any of this stuff, and I really liked the movie a lot. Not so much for him. I mean, honestly, I didn't really care that much, and I thought he did a good job in the movie. But I loved seeing Michael Keaton as Batman again, and I loved seeing Ben Affleck as Batman. I thought those two guys alone for me was worth the movie. I just thought the stuff that they did in the movie was fantastic. And
I respect your opinion.
Yeah, I'm glad you liked it, Richard. I'm glad you liked it, and
I haven't seen it, but that's not because of Ezra Miller. That's just because I don't watch movies that often, and I usually watch them when I'm over at my dad's place. But I haven't been able to watch them yet because he and I are currently focusing on watching all of the James Bond movies first before we move on to other movies.
Yeah.
What is your favorite Bond movie, and what's your dad's favorite Bond movie?
Well, I don't know about my dad, but out of all the movies we've seen so far, I would probably say my favorite so far, at least. Give me a second. I gotta remember.
Save time, Patrick.
The latest one we've seen would be Moonraker. And out of all the ones I've seen so far, I think it was... God dang it! Which one was it?
I think you said. Yeah, I think it's the Man with Golden Gun, Patrick. Didn't you? The Man with the Golden Gun with Christopher Lee.
All right, yeah, I think that one is my favorite so far. But here's the thing: I'm not the biggest fan of movies from the 60s and 70s, and because of that, I'm looking more forward to seeing the ones from the 80s and 90s and 2000s. So my favorite movie might change the more of these films I watch.
Yeah,
so far, that's one that's my favorite because that's the one I understood the most because I had trouble understanding what was happening in the other movies. Plus, I'm a big Christopher Lee fan, so
yeah. I have a funny Christopher Lee story for you guys if you want to hear it.
Yeah, go ahead, tell us, Richard, please.
I would love to hear it.
So when I was first cast in Kingdom Hearts, Billy Zane did the first one, and for whatever reason, they didn't want him, or he didn't want to do it, or something happened. They needed to replace him. Well, the guy who does the voice of Ansem in Kingdom Hearts in Japan does the voice of Bateau in Ghost in the Shell. So when they were getting ready to replace Billy Zane, the producers in Japan asked Disney, who does the voice of Bateau in America, and they said Richard Epcar. So they cast me. And as I said earlier, I've done over 1,200 characters, and I can count on one hand how many times I've been cast without an audition, and that was one of them. So anyway, I go in there. I knew nothing about the game, and I would do a line, a dialogue, and there were 6 Japanese producers and 6 guys from Disney in there.
Oh,
And
wow.
every time I would do a line of dialogue, the engineer would push the talkback button and say, "Just a minute," and they would all talk amongst themselves for like 5 minutes, and they come back on the talkback and say, "Can you do that a little slower?" And I do the line a little slower, and they go, "Just a minute," and they would talk amongst themselves for 5 minutes, and they come back and say, "Can you do that a little faster?" And this went on all day long, and I felt like I was going to jump off a cliff at some point. And finally, we had a break, and I pulled the engineer aside. I said, "How did Christopher Lee put up with this?" He said, "Oh, they did it to him once." And he said, "All right, I'm going to tell you how we're going to do this. I'm going to read this script from the top to the bottom, and then I'm going home." I thought that was freaking hilarious and awesome.
Yeah, Christopher Lee, absolute legend. Like, in case you're wondering, Rich, he's actually my favorite actor from the United Kingdom, from England. He's an absolute legend.
Well, what's interesting, and I didn't know this about Christopher Lee. He speaks like 6 or 7 languages.
Yes, he did. He was multilingual. He was fluent in a lot of them, and he actually redoes some of his characters in other languages, which is pretty cool.
And he was actually a spy during the war. He actually did.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, absolute legend.
And the thing that I love about that story that I just told you was that I saw an interview with I think it was Spielberg and Peter Jackson, and they were talking about Christopher Lee, and they were saying, "We love him, he's wonderful, but he'll do like 1 or 2 takes, and then he'll go back to his trailer. He won't do, if they'll say, 'We want to do another,' he'll just go back to his trailer." And of course, at the time, he was in his 80s, so he probably just felt, "I don't have time for this shit," and just went back to his trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can understand, because he was in the 80s. He probably wants to, get it done with him and then rest, of course. Yeah, totally understandable.
Yeah.
And I think, when it comes to, of course, Lord of the Rings with Peter Jackson, I think Christopher Lee was definitely a legend in the cast, because out of the cast, he's the only one to have met Tolkien, the author of the book, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And in case...
I think one of the only actors I can think of that, I could imagine playing some of the same roles that Lee has played would probably be Charles Dance, as I think he has a similar respectable aura to him, and of course that same
I know what you mean, Patrick.
regal kind of voice that Christopher Lee has.
And Charles Dance had a very, very tiny part in which Bond movie was it? It was when they were skiing. For Your Eyes Only.
Yeah, he was in that.
Has a tiny little part as a thug in it. It's really funny.
Yeah, it was pretty good seeing him in that. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a very brief role, isn't it? So yeah, might take a rewatch to spot him. When it comes to Charles role, Richard, my favorite role of his is role. Have you ever seen Game of Thrones, Richard?
I only saw a little tiny bit of it. I never really got into it.
Right.
It's a great show, but
yeah, it is a great show for the most part, and he's in that. That's my favorite role of Charles. He's a great actor.
Yeah, and I've seen him do a lot of stuff. He is terrific, and he's done
he
a lot
is
of stuff.
wonderful.
He was in The Crown. He was great in The Crown, and he's done a lot of
wonderful. I've not seen The Crown yet, Richard. Would you recommend The Crown?
Yes, I would absolutely.
Yeah, because my mum watches it on Netflix, but I've not seen it yet. So yeah, if you recommend it, I'll definitely give it a watch. Yeah, nice one.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's very good.
Yeah.
Well, it is a show that requires a lot of dedication, though. My parents have seen it.
Oh wow.
And also, when it comes to Charles Dance, a role of his I do love is from a underrated vampire movie called Dracula Untold.
I've not seen.
Yeah, he plays a vampire in that. Yeah.
I've not seen
that
that yet.
actually how I was. That movie is actually how I was introduced to Charles Dance.
Oh wow, what a coincidence! Yeah, when it comes,
it's a good movie.
Yeah, when it comes to actors, Richard, have you got a favorite actor, Richard?
Well, I love Sean Connery. He's
Oh,
one of
me
my
too.
favorites.
Legend.
I love Laurence Olivier. I love Marlon Brando. I love. There's a lot of wonderful.
Yeah.
The thing for me though with Sean, it's like there's certain actors that when they're on screen, you don't look at anybody else but them. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
And Sean Connery was one of those actors.
Yeah.
And there's a few of them today. I think that I like. I do like Ryan Gosling. I think he's a wonderful actor.
Oh yeah, I think he's a great actor. Yeah, really great actor.
Yeah, he does a great job. There's a lot of really wonderful.
He's also a decent singer.
He's a singer. Oh wow.
I love Robert Downey Jr. I think.
Oh,
he's an
legend, absolute legend.
I am Iron Man.
Yeah, I love him as Iron Man. I think he's
Always been my favorite role of his.
Yeah, me too.
It kind of reminds me of how people like to joke that in Spider-Man 1, J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson and Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin steal the show in every scene they're in.
They are definitely show stealers. You're not wrong, Patrick. Great castings. Have you seen the Spider-Man films with all two actors, Richard?
J.K. Simmons is another wonderful actor.
He is.
I got to work with him on that. I'm sorry, what was the question?
I was asking, have you seen the Spider-Man movies which J.K. Simmons is in, Richard?
The which movies?
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man films.
Spider-Man, yes. I have. And I like the new ones, and I liked Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's my favorite. He's my favorite Spider-Man.
Perfect cast.
Yes,
I thought he was really good in those.
Yeah, he was. And if you're wondering as well, Richard, Spider-Man 2 is my favorite movie of all time as well.
Oh
yeah.
And I love the one where they do the Spider Universe, and they have the three guys come back.
No Way Home. That was from a couple of years ago. I saw that in the cinema. Great experience.
I thought it was terrific, and that's the thing I like. I know they were trying to do that in the Flash too, and have that kind of the different Batman and all that stuff. And I like that aspect of the movie. I thought that was very cool.
When it comes to multiverse movies, Richard, have you by any chance seen the animated Spider-Man films called Into the Spider-Verse and its recent sequel?
Yes.
Oh, you've seen them? That's cool.
Excellent.
Oh, you've seen them? Yeah.
They're excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, really
For the
excellent.
record, please don't get into spoiler territory. I haven't seen those 2 years. Very much.
No spoilers. Yeah, no spoilers.
My daughter is a huge fan of those movies, and she's had me watch them with her, and yeah, they're terrific and done very well and very
that's
interesting.
cool.
And Marvel got into that whole multi-universe thing, so I think they deserve credit for that.
Yeah.
That actually makes me interested because there's a show on Netflix that has a similar animation style called Arcane, which is a fantastic show. And I'm curious, have you seen that?
I have not seen Arcane.
I'd recommend it strongly. I'd recommend it, Richard. It's an amazing show. And
there's so many good ones.
Yeah.
And it has J.B. Blanc and Fred Tatasciore in it.
Yeah, it's great characters, yeah. And when it comes and when it comes to, you mentioned your daughter, Richard. According to your Wikipedia page, it says you got 2 children, right? So this leads me to ask, have they ever watched anything or played any games you're in, Richard, and recognized your voice?
I'm not sure that they do, to be honest with you. I don't think either one of my kids are big gamers, to be honest with you.
All right.
I think once in a while my son mentioned to me he'll go and watch some show or animation or anime or something, and he'll go, "Oh, well, that's my dad." And
nice.
People go, "Oh, really?" And they're like, "I'll break down." And he's pretty calm about the whole thing. Now, my son is an amazing drummer, and he's a drummer on Broadway, and he's
nice.
with Justin Timberlake and Rihanna and John Legend.
Wow.
He's been on the Night Show many times. He's been a substitute drummer on Seth Meyers a bunch of times. So he's doing pretty well. And my daughter is a singer-songwriter.
Oh wow.
She's an amazing singer and amazing songwriter. So they're on the arts, these guys.
That's amazing.
I gotta tell you something.
Funny you mentioned. It's kind of funny you mentioned drums. Kind of funny you mentioned drums. If you can see it.
Yeah, the kid over there.
Yeah.
It's, I play. I'm a drummer. I'm a drummer too. Oh wait, you're a drummer too?
Yeah, I'm a drummer too. I've been playing for a million years.
Wow.
Okay, a few drum questions going through. Well, what head would you use the most? Brand.
I've been using Evans heads, but there are other heads.
I'm an Evans guy, so I like Evans. Use ProMark sticks, mainly Ludwig drums and Sabian cymbals. So.
Oh, that's great.
Nice one.
My son he's sponsored by Pike-Sti, so he uses Pike-Sti. I've always loved Zildjian myself. I'm a Zildjian guy, but I use when I was playing back in the day, I used Rogers drums, which to me is still the best drums made. But my son uses Kraviata drums, and I have a DW kit that I use for gigs. I play with a band we're called the LA River Band. We used to play around town. We played at the Viper Room and a Hard Rock Cafe, a bunch of places. And honestly, most of the fans that came to hear us play were fans of my voice work. So it was kind of fun. And we play rock from the 60s and 70s, and that was a lot of fun to do that. And I got to sing.
Imagine Raiden on drums, like, I must persult the other gods to fix my drum set.
Well, thankfully, I didn't have to do that. So, yeah, that's my therapy. And my son got that from me. He wanted to be a drummer, but he's taken it to a whole other level.
Wow.
He's really. He plays with symphonies, and
it's amazing.
He does all kinds of stuff. Yeah, he's incredible.
Yeah, I wish him all. I wish him all the best of luck with that. Yeah, I hope his career goes really well, Richard.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, I was just wondering, do you have any people online that have any questions for me?
I think Patrick has a question for you, Richard.
Yeah, it's more of a little thing that I want to tell you. So that whole thing with like your kids potentially playing a game that you're in, it kind of reminds me during the last interview we did. We interviewed a voice actor named Keith. How did we say
Sharabaika. Sharabaika.
I don't know that. I don't think I know Keith.
Yeah, we interviewed him, and he's done a lot of video games, and he ended up telling us this fun little story of like one of his kids played a game that he played the villain in, and so one time when they were playing the game and they beat the villain, he just heard them from the living room, one of them say, "I just killed Dad."
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, and Richard, my last question for you is, there's been loads of like sources saying, you're either not in this or you are in this, but I don't hear it from you. Are you a character called Cyrus in the game Saints Row 4, Richard?
Yes.
Oh, okay, brilliant. Because when I've played that game recently, I actually played on PS4 and I platinumed it, got all the trophies, and I'm pretty sure I heard your voice, and I'm thinking that's got to be Richard. It has to be, and yeah, you've told me. Awesome.
It's funny, I didn't even recognize it was Richard.
Well, that's talent for you right there. Great vocal range.
Mind if I quickly ask something before you?
Yeah, go ahead, Lucky Nerd. Go for it.
Do you remember working on the X-Men animated series where you voiced this character called the Gladiator?
Yes, I do.
I noticed that that show was recorded in Toronto. I'm curious, even though you were LA based, how were you in that show? Did you fly over to Toronto and record your lines, or did you do it remotely? Or
no, what happened was they recorded the whole show in Toronto, and they, for whatever reason, weren't happy with the guy who was doing Gladiator. So the company asked me if I would record his parts here in the States. So I did that, and they just put it together.
That's pretty cool. All that, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume nowadays, Richard, are you back in the studio recording, or do you now do work remotely? Due to a tragic circumstance of a pandemic from a few years ago.
It's really both, but more and more it's back to the studio, which is nice because I honestly enjoy recording in the studio. It's more social,
I'd love to do. I'd love to work in a studio because it means you get to have like a face-to-face conversation with your director, don't you? And they can tell you what to do, like in depth, really, which is really cool.
Yeah, no, it's much better. I prefer it. But even on Monday, I've got a remote job here, and I did a game for a company in Australia a couple of times, and
Oh, nice.
I recorded all the stuff here in my I have a professional setup here at my office.
Oh,
So
nice.
I did all of that stuff for them, and then I've done stuff for people in England, and all kinds of different stuff. So
That's really cool.
It's good to have it, and it makes you more versatile. And obviously, you can do either or. And some people like you to have your own setup. Some people like you to come into the studio. So I'm happy to do either one of those things.
Yeah. When it comes to England, Richard, have you got any convention appearances planned for the UK soon?
I wish I did. I used to do the London Comic Con thing with this guy named Brian owned it, but they've sold it, and the people that own it had not invited me or asked me to come there. If you guys recommend me to them, perhaps they'll invite me. But
yeah, I'd love to.
That's kind of how we get invited. We need people to request us to be at the conventions. But I would love to. Believe me, London is one of my favorite cities in the world, and
I've been there several times. Yeah. Because I'm based outside of the city of Manchester, Richard, so I'm quite far from London myself. But I'd love to go to London to meet you, Richard. And would it be okay if you could sign my Mortal Kombat X PS4 case?
Of course.
Yeah, thank you, Richard. That'd be amazing. Yeah. And if you're wondering, Richard, I don't know if you remember this or not, but I think back in 2021, I made a video of like a compilation of all your time when you played Raiden, and you actually retweeted it. So I just want to say thank you for that. I'm that same person who made that video.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you for doing that. We obviously appreciate when you spend the time and do all that stuff. So yeah, I like to be supportive of that kind of work. So yeah.
And
request me, and hopefully I'll come to London and I can meet all of you guys. So
yeah, I'd love to meet you, Richard. Yeah, that'd be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to go back to London a second time to meet you.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
I've been in London 2 times, so why
I would absolutely love that.
Yeah.
And I was there. I think the last time I was there had to be I don't know, 5-7 years ago, something like that. So it's been a while that I was there.
Yeah.
Last time I was there, we had an absolute blast. We loved it, and it was just great. And
nice.
I'd love to go back. I'd love to go back. But the guy sold it, and as a lot of these companies are doing now, and stuff. There's some of these convention companies are buying up a lot of the other cons and becoming bigger and bigger. And I guess they have their own way of doing things.
Yeah, and I was actually in London last year, Richard, because last year I was on like a connecting flight from Manchester, then to London, then to New York. I went to New York for a week, and then I came back via London. So yeah, I was there last year, which was pretty cool to be back there again for a day.
Yeah, that's a great city.
And I'd love to go again. And
Mike Pollock is from New York, isn't he?
Yeah, Dr. Eggman. Yeah, he's based in New York, which is pretty cool.
Last time I was in London was back in 2018.
Oh wow, nearly 5 years ago. Yeah, and Richard, you know how you asked us about favorite James Bond movies? Are you wondering who our favorite voice actors are before we wrap things up?
I'm sorry, what was the last part of that?
Are you by any chance wondering who our favorite voice actors of all time? Because we all have like a very diverse choice. Now, my favorite of all time is Peter Cullen. You know Peter Cullen, don't you, Richard? Optimus Prime.
I know him, and I like him very much, and I was so happy that they put him in the movie. And that was another thing, he had to fight to get his part of the movie. They didn't want to use him because they said he was a voice actor. They wanted a quote real actor. Well, we are real actors, and honestly, Peter did a better job than anybody in that movie.
Indeed,
so I said that to him. I said, I'm so glad they cast you in the movie. He said, you're glad.
Yeah, Peter Cullen's an absolute legend.
We've had martinis together. He's a great guy.
Oh wow, shaken not stirred, eh?
And Richard, I think you will be happy to know who my favorite voice actor is.
Who is that?
It's Darth Vader himself, James Earl Jones.
Ah, yeah, he's listen. Doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, he's a legend.
My favorite voice actor is Frank Welker.
Yeah, Frank's a very talented man, absolutely.
Patrick, I think we know who your favorite is. Who's your favorite voice, Patrick?
My favorite voice actor is a long-running and hopefully continuing long-standing voice actor, Corey Burton.
Okay.
Amazing.
For me, it's a tie between Yuri Lowenthal and D. Bradley Baker.
Okay.
Great choices for Lucky Nerd. I think D can be like a default voice for like animal characters because he does lots like animal sounds, doesn't he? Same with Frank Welker.
Yeah, he does.
Pretty cool.
He's the new Frank Welker, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And I think.
So yeah.
And I think you've been casted as, if I remember, can't remember if you have, but I think you've been casted as Yuri Lowenthal's dad in a few animes. Could be wrong.
I have. That's true.
That's
I know
really
Yuri
cool.
for many, many years. Actually, Yuri and I and Todd Haberkorn
did
a thing called Warehouse 13, where we acted in a scene together. We were Edison and Tesla and MC Escher, and they animated us. So it looks like it's animated, but it's us doing the acting, and that was a really fun gig to do that.
Wow, amazing. Aaron, have you got a favorite voice actor?
That's a top one. One of my favorites, Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, and obviously I like many, including you, Richard. I like your voice actings. I mean,
about time for
good. Yeah, there's so many voice acts I like to listen to. So there's always multiple. So I can't have a distinct one I like specifically, but I like a lot of voice acting, including Corey Burton as well.
That's great. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, I'm going to get on with my day, but I thank you very much for having me.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure, Richard. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Do you mind if I add you a Discord, Richard, or are you going to be pretty busy?
No, you can add me to Discord. That's fine.
Oh yeah.
I'll add you as well.
Yeah. Can we all add you, Richard? If that's okay with you.
Why not? Sure, absolutely.
Oh, thank you so much, Richard. Yeah, you're an absolute legend.
Oh, thank you.
I'm really Richard, to meet you.
I'm glad we were able to do this. I'm sorry we had to postpone a little bit, but
oh no, it's fine. Absolutely fine, Richard. Yeah, totally fine.
For all the time all the time you had with us was worth every
worth every second. Yeah, thank you so much, Richard.
Thank you so much, Joe, and thank you for following me on Instagram for a bit when you used to.
Well, you're welcome. And please, all you guys, please follow me on Instagram.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I do follow you, Richard. I already follow you on Twitter and Instagram, and yeah, it's definitely nice to see a post from you on there.
Yes, thank you.
all right.
Have a great rest of your day, you guys.
You too, Richard. Take care. May the force be with you.
Thank you. You too.
Take care.
Richard, I just followed you.
He's gone. But wow, that was incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Love that.
That was probably something I never expected to do. I mean, not only did we meet one of the most famous voice actors of our time, but he could also get a chance to talk with a guy.
Yeah, it's wonderful, absolutely wonderful, and incredible. We got to thank Blaze, guys, because he's the one who's contacting the voice actors. So yeah, we got to thank Blaze. So yeah, let's all give a round of applause to Blaze, guys.
Yeah, Blaze, Blaze, you're getting a lot of some awesome connections. I mean, it's probably good. I think we might see more voice actors in the future.
Yeah, I think we will actually. Yeah, thanks to Blaze, because he's been contacting several, and we're just waiting for him to reply now.
I did message a lot of actors, so let's see who replies first.
Yeah.
I actually have a recommendation for someone we could try.
Go ahead, Patrick. Who would you suggest?
I'm recommending this guy because this is someone I've actually successfully contacted in the past.
Oh yeah.
That is Jamison Price.
Oh yeah, of course. I'd love to invite him. I think we've tried him before, Patrick, but we didn't hear back from it. I think he's busy.
Yeah, I tried messaging him as well. He hasn't replied, unfortunately.
I tell you what, Patrick. Do you still have his contact details? Because if so, you would you like to contact him yourself, Patrick, and offer a chance to talk to him on an interview?
I kind of doubt it, because if you guys have tried and he hasn't replied, then I don't think it's gonna make much difference if I try it.
Well, that's fine then. Yeah, I'm sure that hopefully one day he'll get back to us. But yeah, we gotta let these voice actors take their time because we're really busy with schedule. I mean, Richard told us how busy he is, so yeah.
I think
See,
I've got a good suggestion.
yeah, Yeah, and some actors also can't do these interviews either, which is totally understandable. Absolutely fine.
Yeah, because
a feature nerd has a recommendation.
Oh, go on, Pat. Go on, man.
Maybe Keith Silverstein.
I mean, Blaze has messaged him, hasn't you, Blaze?
Yeah, I did. Unfortunately, it's larger as well.
Well, hopefully one day someone will get back to us, and I'm sure that the resulting chat will be worth every second, just like this amazing chat with Richard was just then.
And yeah,
so let's see if it applies.
Yeah. And
it would be cool if we could interview Jason Spesnik.
I mean, I wouldn't say no to that either. He's a very prolific voice actor, playing lots of different roles, so I'd love to talk to him as well.
Including Silco from Arcane.
Of course, yeah. And what, Blaze?
I did message to see if you applies.
Okay, let's hope. And unfortunately, guys, we didn't have. And what's also sad, guys, is we didn't have any questions from the YouTube comments either. What a shame. No one in the YouTube comments asked any questions to Richard. No one. How sad.
I noticed. I was like, what the hell?
Or even Jason Marsden.
Yeah, Jason Marsden would be a good choice. Obviously, though, guys, my number one choice to interview would be my favourite voice actor, Peter Cullen. I mean, I'd love to get all of you guys' favourites on here. That would be amazing.
Seriously, if we could interview Corey Burton, then I could die happy.
Yeah, and also if we got Jennifer Jones and Tara Strong, oh man, that would.
I tried Tara Strong, but her husband replied that she's very busy.
Oh, well, that's understandable.
Or even James Arnold Taylor, perhaps T. Birdie Baker, though.
Probably, yeah. See how that goes. I know that James Arnold Taylor is quite active on Twitter when it comes to response, because he once replied to Alexander on something, so hopefully he might reply to you, Blaze, or anyone else who tries to ask him.
Safety Mitchell could also be cool.
Yeah, because I think he'd be a good choice because, guys, he follows me on Twitter, so I might ask him if he'd be open to a chat one day.
And one actor I would absolutely adore if we got him on is Chris Pratt. Well,
of course, your favorite actor. I mean, if you guys have a favorite actor of all time, I'd love to invite them on here. You know, I'd love to, of course, have my favorite actor, Keanu Reeves, on here.
Heck, David K.
Yeah, Jackie Chan will be awesome, won't he? Jackie Chan is my favorite martial artist of all time.
Oh, David K. since he voiced Megatron.
Yeah, I'd love to have David on. We have tried him, but he's really busy, sadly.
And we of course, we of course tried to invite Gina Carano, but that didn't work.
Yeah, she's probably busy.
How come it didn't work? She was busy?
I think she was busy, yeah.
She didn't reply to Blaze.
Hey, give it time.
I'm sure she's busy, so that's all understandable. And we could also interview other people who aren't really actors too, you know, maybe like other celebrities. That could be great. I mean, I would love to interview the Geeks and Gamers team members, you know, one by one. That could be a lot of fun to do.
Oh, I was actually just thinking about that. Yeah, we could get other.
I would like to meet Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers.
Yeah, I'd love to invite him. I'd love to invite him and the other team members, and also their friends like Gary from Nerdrotic and Az from Hill vs Babyface. You know, those two are legends. I'd love to have them on.
And
another voice actor we could potentially interview that I have contacted before.
Who Patrick?
That was too busy at the time. That is Mark Thompson.
Well, I wouldn't say no to him. Of course, yeah.
And he's the guy who did the narration for the Thrawn.
Yeah, I know. And doesn't he voice Megatron in something too, Patrick?
He's the voice of Megatron in Cyberverse.
That's cool.
He's the voice of Casey Jones in the 2003 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show.
I see. We could definitely get him on.
And
Richard Newland, but he hasn't applied.
Right, okay. Well, let's just give everyone time, guys. And there's also someone on Twitter who I also follow, who I would definitely love to have on here. Her name's Brittany Martinez, and she's a lovely person who I follow, and she posts great tweets. And I'd love to have her on here to talk about, you know, her career with, of course, her magazine called Evie, and she's really nice. And yeah, if you guys aren't ready, I'd recommend you guys go follow her and show some love on Twitter. Nice one, yeah.
But one YouTuber I would also love if we got on here is Yellow Flash.
Wait, who? Yellow Flash?
Yeah, Yellow Flash.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, anyone who's like part of the Geese Gamers team, like I love to have on. You know, Jeremy, Ryan, Drunk 3PO, anyone really. They're very welcome to join us, but but of course, it depends on how busy they are.
And another one I would absolutely love to talk to right now is Jane Theory.
Yeah,
she absolutely fantastic to talk to.
I'm sure she would love to join, but the problem is what Shadow is that today she actually did a stream where she's saying goodbye to YouTube. So I'm not sure if she's going to stay on as like a guest or not, but she's left YouTube as a channel though.
I actually saw a bit of that stream and it was really sad.
Yeah. Well, I hope she's doing well, and I'd love to talk to her one day. And same, of course, Az, because Az is my favorite YouTuber who does reviews. He's so funny. Yeah, he's a legend. And
I think if I want to hopefully meet someone I don't know if they have this to Discord, but they are not these are big YouTubers. That'd be perfect. But Team Edge, those two YouTube channels. I mean,
that'd be a good idea, Aaron.
That's a far cry because they have millions of followers and they're business, so it might make it a little hard to contact them.
Yeah, that might be pretty hard. Yeah, understandable.
Unless there's a way they could, since you, Luke, are in the UK, they could actually figure out a way to get a connection to the United Kingdom because most of their tours actually been in the United States.
Oh wow!
They go international, so they go international.
Connections,
my guy. And anyway, I'm probably gonna head off for now. I'm a little exhausted. I've stayed up late, and
that's fine.
Church, so.
Yeah, it's been nice to have you here.
Yeah, and it was a pretty good experience talking to Richard.
Yeah, that was. I never anticipated. I was like, "Oh, be Richard." I'm like, "Who's he?" And I look him up. I'm like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah, he's very prolific and a legend in the voice acting industry. Yeah, and it was honored to have him on here.
And humbling. I'm very glad to hear humbling. And a drummer. I had no idea. So now.
Yeah, pretty cool.
That. Therapy. Since it's therapy, I think I know how to help with my own therapy. Anyway.
Yeah, but
it was a cool
coincidence. Take care, Aaron. Thanks for being here.
And you.
Take care. Oh, it's gone. So yeah, that was definitely an amazing experience, and
it was just so nice. Like,
indeed, yeah, and it took a long time to answer our question. He was very patient, and also another YouTuber I would also love to have on here to talk to would also be Josiah Rises, because he's actually doing like a franchise called Epcar, and I'd love to have him on here to talk about it and talk about his YouTube career. He's a really cool guy, Josiah.
I gotta say, one of the reasons why I think Mark Thompson might be a very possible choice is because he actually has a reaction channel where he sometimes reacts to most of the time he reacts to movie trailers.
Yeah, he does. You're right, Patrick.
With his family.
Yeah, I've seen his reaction to the Rise of Skywalker's trailer. You know when he was at those events, Patrick. That he was attending.
Yeah, so I definitely think there's a good chance we could bring him on board. But the last time I asked him, he was too busy at the time.
Oh, that's a shame. I mean, hopefully, soon he'll be, free from, a busy schedule. But, that depends because voice actors, of course, are really busy. We can't underestimate them, can we?
Yeah, but although personally, I would recommend that it would probably be easier if we just kind of let Blaze handle that stuff. Like I could give his email to Blaze, and then he could try and.
Okay, you can send it to him then.
There.
Yeah, send him the email then, Patrick, and hopefully Blaze can do something with that. Yeah, nice one.
And when it comes to our interview with Richard, it was also pretty nice to talk about James Bond as well.
Yeah, he's a James Bond fan, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's also a good timing considering that you started watching the old films, isn't it, Shadow? Which is amazing.
Nice coincidence. Very nice coincidence.
Yeah, absolutely amazing.
I also love that he got a good laugh when I told him that my power went out when he was watching. Rightfully so, because the film is a big pile of trash, isn't it, Shadow? So your power cut gave you a nice break, didn't it? Yep. While I was waiting for my power to come back, I just went on a little walk outside. because there was nothing to do.
Oh,
You had to walk
okay, that's
outside.
not
Nice one.
cool.
Yeah, that's a
Yep.
good idea. Yeah, walking is actually really good. You know, nice fresh air and all that. I
Yeah.
can't recommend it enough.
Yep,
And,
Yeah, I would. I have like 60,000 steps.
for most days.
Oh, nice one,
and,
Blaze.
and of course, speaking of fresh air, of course, yesterday I saw You Only Live Twice.
Great movie. Definitely better than the film released the same year. I would definitely say that masterpiece in comparison.
Yeah, and it's my second favorite. It's my second favorite out of Connery's movie so far.
Nice one.
Loved it.
So next, Shadow, you've got the one for 1969, which is On Her Majesty's Secret Service, haven't you? Which stars George Lazenby
Yes.
in his only time as
Yes.
Bond. It's a great film.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah,
Can't wait for it.
I do think that he deserved a chance to play Bond more, though. But I think he was great with his one film he had as Bond, in my opinion. That's cool. I'm glad you liked the interview. Go on, Patrick.
And apparently Daniel said in the chat that Lazenby's last 5 minutes were spectacular.
Yeah, great acting from him. Although I'm not going to spoil what happens, Shadow, but something pretty, intense happens at the end. I'm not going to say how because I don't want to spoil it for you, but you'll see why when you see it. But it is great acting from him.
Has any of you guys seen Star Wars Screaming Citadel?
No.
Not yet, Patrick. I've been busy. Isn't it that called you edited, Patrick?
Yes, that's the comic dub series that's still currently releasing episodes on Star Wars Audio Comics that I'm the main video editor for.
Oh, wow. So have you edited the whole series, Patrick?
Well, not yet. There's going to be 5 episodes in total, as there's 5 issues of this story.
And you've edited for all of them?
Not yet. Only the first 2 episodes have been made and released, but I am going to be editing the whole thing.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. So I can imagine are you really busy, Patrick, doing that?
Yes. They're also going to be making a big video, because there's this one story called War of the Bounty Hunters.
Oh, hey, Daniel.
It's a story told through several different Star Wars comics. It basically tells the story of a bunch of different bounty hunters warring over who gets to have ownership over the frozen body of Han Solo after the events of Empire Strikes Back, in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. And they want to dub all of these comics telling this one story into one long video. And I might potentially end up being one of the video editors for that video.
Nice one.
As I am panel cropping the entire video. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to be panel cropping that whole video, which is the process of cutting out all the pictures so that they're each their own individual picture. There are over 34 goddamn comics in this video.
Wow, 34.
Wow.
Well, all I can say to you is good luck, Patrick.
Yeah, thanks. And here's the thing. When that video is finished and uploaded, and when all of Screaming Citadel is also finished, then I have full directing duties to a potential series of dubbing a comic called Star Wars Obi-Wan, which is 5 issues, and a one-shot comic called Jabba's Palace. And I have directing dibs on both of those.
Wow, nice one. Very happy for you, Patrick.
And here's the thing. There is a moment in the 5th issue of the Obi-Wan comic where there's a bunch of stormtroopers. And if it becomes possible, I might be thinking of hiring a few buddies I have to voice some of those stormtroopers.
That's cool. I mean,
if you guys can figure out which buddies I'm talking about.
Are you talking about us by any chance, Patrick?
Yep.
Well, if you want me to watch Stormtrooper, I'll be happy to. Just let me know what you want to do, and I'll do it for you.
Yeah, same here.
Same.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, just ask me, and then I'll be there.
I can't guarantee that I can bring you guys on board, but it is a potentiality. And what you also got to keep in mind is, since this is Star Wars audio comics, if I do manage to hire you guys for that, it'll be paid work.
Oh.
You don't have to pay us, Patrick.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Well,
no. I'm not the one paying because it's Star Wars audio comics.
Oh, okay. They're paying. So are they going to be paying then? Okay.
Okay.
They pay all their voice actors, from what I can tell.
All right.
Well, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, so totally fine.
Right.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah, but again, I can't guarantee that I can bring you guys on board for that because I don't even remember how many stormtroopers there are. So don't get your hopes up too high, but it is a potentiality. So keep that in mind.
Okay, nice one.
Of course.
Brilliant. Well, I'll be looking forward to possibility. Oh, wait, was Daniel here when he left?
Yeah, Daniel.
Yeah, no,
was
sir.
here.
He was probably coming to show
now-
us who he's met, but yeah.
Yeah, and I was
I gotta go again because I'm busy and such, and only really showed up because I wanted to be there for Richard. So
That's fine.
That's all right.
I'll speak to you guys later.
All right,
Yeah.
no worries, Patrick. Yeah, thanks for being here. Yeah, and
Thanks for
yeah,
being here.
good luck with your editing of the comment dubs. I imagine it's a lot of work for you, isn't it? So yeah, best of luck to you.
Yeah, and good luck.
Take care,
Yeah.
Patrick.
See ya.
Take care.
Take care. Take care now.
Huh.
So, I also asked Vermont if he's coming.
What did he say?
Nothing yet. But if you look in the movie channel, he has finished.
Yeah, I
watching
saw
it.
it. I see it. Is 9.5 out of 10. He's got his favorite role of Leo DiCaprio. Cool. I mean, I give it a full-blown 10 out of 10 Inception.
Yeah, I would like to ask him what his five goals are.
He's probably gonna say it's confusing, Shadow. Probably.
Yeah.
You know, because of the dreams and all that.
And but probably one thing I would say is that it does now have an actor I lost respect for.
And wait, I think I can guess who it is. Is it Elliot Page, Shadow?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I hate him.
Yeah, he's not very nice, is he, nowadays? Is he?
Yeah, I mean, he attacked Johnny and Chris Pratt.
Yeah, how dare he do? But that was just disgusting.
He just accused them of being transphobic.
That first Inception would be my second favorite, not my favorite Nolan movie. Daniel's here. Hey, Daniel.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Great, yeah. We just had a great
Yeah,
we just had a great conversation with Richard Epcar, and yeah. So, and Daniel, for the chat who are in the audience, you have been to a convention these past few days, haven't you?
Yeah, the past 48 hours I've been in San Antonio, Texas Comic-Con, and I took a picture with 4 celebrities.
Yeah, and we've been really excited to hear who you've met, Daniel. So yeah, are you ready to tell us?
You okay? Sure
Okay,
thing.
so we know, of course, about Asher Angel.
Yeah, because you posted about him a
Yeah.
server, which was really cool. Glad you got to meet him. How was he, Daniel, when you met him?
Yeah, he was a really chill guy. I told him, hey, I was a big fan of your work back when you were on Disney Channel, and I brought my 4K of Shazam overs. We took a photo together. He was pretty chill. I was a little surprised that I was like an inch and a half taller than him.
Yeah, and Daniel, I'm actually very surprised that you got to meet him, because I thought you said you had to bail out of the autograph signing with him, so we were to get him in the queue for a picture.
Yes, I was.
You're very lucky.
Yeah.
So Daniel, whenever you're ready, would you like to tell us who you've met?
I am, but I need to give you guys a warning. You guys have pretty much gone on record for the past 3 years or so that you've personally lost respect for this person, and understandably, I can respect your opinion.
Let me guess, it's Brie Larson.
Yep, there she is.
Oh, you met her? Okay.
So how was she? How was she when you met her?
She was really nice to me.
Well,
that's interesting.
There's a first.
She also really liked my Peacemaker shirt, since she's apparently a big John Cena fan.
Is she now?
Huh.
Yeah. So, Luke, aren't you using Discord on your phone?
Yeah, I'm on my phone talking to you right now. Yeah.
So, do you think it would be okay if you took your phone off for just a second and showed your laptop this photo right here?
Yeah, sure. Let me just go onto Zoom so everyone can see it. So yeah, there you go, guys. Are you okay with you showing your face, Daniel?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, so there you go, guys. Daniel met Brie Larson at a convention today in San Antonio, which is pretty cool. So yeah, and she was really nice to you, which was good. I'm glad she was nice to you.
The second one, I already know you guys are gonna be absolutely jealous of me, but I met Haley Steinfeld.
Oh man.
Oh man, you met her. Bloody hell. How was she when you met her, Daniel?
I'm jealous.
Just like Brie Larson, she was super nice to me.
I can imagine.
I can only imagine she was nicer.
No doubt about it.
As you guys can see, I'm wearing my Hawkeye shirt right there. I rewatched it all last night to prepare myself.
So let me ask you this: how was Hawkeye?
It was fun. It was absolute blast.
And Daniel, tell us this. What did you say to Haley? You know, did you tell her about any films you've seen her in, movies?
I mentioned Hawkeye as well as oh shoot, what was that one from 2013?
Did you also ask her about the Spider-Verse films?
I didn't get the chance to ask her about Spider-Verse, but I just asked her about it's the movie she did with Harrison Ford and Asa Butterfield.
Ender's Game.
Yes, Ender's Game. I told her I was a big fan of Hawkeye and Ender's Game.
Oh, that's cool.
All right.
And what did she say in response to you, Daniel? What did she say in response?
She said, "Oh, that's so sweet. I'm glad you're a big fan of both of those things."
That's cool.
All right, here's the third one, and here's the final one. This is actually one of the Hawkeye co-stars.
Who's that? Who's that? I don't know who that is.
So this is Alakwa Cox. She's a few years older than me. She was in Hawkeye as the character of Echo, who in the comics is Kingpin's nephew. I don't know if you guys can tell this, but she's actually 6 months pregnant.
Oh, is she? Well, congrats to her.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, I hope it all goes well for her. Yeah, congrats to her.
So yeah, I met Alakwa, I met Haley, and I met Bree. All three of them, plus Asher Angel, were all really nice to me.
Glad to hear it.
Glad to hear. Yeah. And I also got these stickers. No, not stickers. These things that you put on a lantern or something on your neck. So this is Alakwa, this is Haley, there's Bree, and there's Asher. The final one, because it was 5 for $25, is for Bo-Katan. I wasn't able to meet her, but I was able to get this.
Oh, but that's pretty cool. Bo-Katan, pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, I guess there's one other thing I forgot to mention. Luke. Do you remember last week when you asked me to say something to the people I was going to meet?
Yeah, say hi to them from me. That's all.
I did do that to all three of them. All four of them.
And what did they say in response? Each one of them.
All four of them wished you the best of luck for your YouTube channel.
Oh, they did. That's cool. I mean, what? Wait, Daniel, you told them about my YouTube. What did you say to them word for word, Daniel, about me?
I told them that you were my good YouTube friend, Luke Walker, and that you were just a YouTuber on the rise. I didn't really give out any specific details. I just
thank you.
Your name was Luke Walker.
So what exactly did Brie Larson say? That's I'm actually interested in.
She said, "Oh, that's really cool. I hope your friend has a really successful YouTube career. I wish him all the best."
Well, for what it's worth, I'm saying thank you to. I never thought I'd get a compliment from Brie Larson of all people. Jeez.
Yeah. And I actually wonder how her YouTube channel is going. Not so well.
Luke, question. Whenever Jay comes back onto the stream, will you at all mention that Brie Larson complimented you?
Yeah, sure. I'll let him know. I wonder what his response will be.
Really one big small.
And what did the others say aside from Brie Larson, Daniel?
When I mentioned it to Haley, she of course once again was really nice to say, "Hey, wish him the best of luck. YouTube's not the best place in the world, but
you know what, Daniel? She's earned my respect for that. She's not wrong about YouTube at all. She's not wrong.
Yeah. Haley has earned my respect for that as well. For both praising Luke and also
speaking the truth.
Speaking the truth about YouTube.
Yeah.
When I mentioned it to Alakwa, because she's deaf in real life, the translator who was able to do sign language had to basically transfer everything. Long story short, Alakwa doesn't have YouTube, but she wishes you the best regards.
Well, that's amazing.
She has my as well.
And as far as Asher is concerned, I didn't tell him about your YouTube channel, but I did tell you that you did see Shazam Fury of the Gods.
Yeah, I did.
Because, so many people didn't watch it, and it ended up being one of the biggest bombs of 2023. But I did tell him that you did watch that movie and gave it support.
Yeah, I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah, he had a really good time with it. He had a lot of fun with Jack Dylan Grayster, Rachel Zegler. He had a pretty good time on that movie. It's a shame he only had 6 minutes in it.
Yeah, 6 minutes. I definitely think he was quite underused in the film, Daniel, but for what it's worth, he was good in the film like he was in the first film, but I think he deserved more presence.
Oh, by the way, about my interaction with Brie, I actually told her, after I told her about you, I also told her about a movie that I watched while on the plane ride over here that happened to star her.
Oh, yeah? What did you watch?
So, it's a 2004 movie called Sleepover, and it stars Alexa Penavega, who was the star of the Spy Kids franchise at the time. So this was kind of like her other movie as she was on the rise. And also has Scout Taylor Compton, who we all know as, Laurie Strode from the Rob Zombie Halloween movies.
Oh, yeah.
The things that shocked me about it, the supporting cast, aside from Brie Larson, are Steve Carell and Evan Peters.
Oh, wow. So Daniel, is this film like a serious film, or is it a comedy film?
No, it's a teenage comedy.
Oh, right, so yeah, I can imagine Steve Carell was funny, right?
Yeah, it was. It came out 2004, so this was a year before he did The Office.
Oh, wow, that's cool. Yeah, speaking of The Office, I do plan to binge watch that show one day, in its entirety.
You'll love it. You'll love it, Luke, but...
For the most part, because I know Mindy Kaling's in it, Shadow.
Yeah, no, but that's not the only thing. It does go downhill after Michael leaves.
I do believe he returns for a guest appearance, I believe, towards the end, so I'll look forward to that.
In the very end. The very end of
I mean, Shadow, does it feel like it's not The Office anymore because he leaves?
Yeah, man, not exactly.
Well, I'll see. I'll judge it myself when I get around to watching it. But as you guys know, I'm currently watching Batman Beyond. I'm up to series 2 now.
Oh, I guess I have another announcement to make with you guys.
Yeah, go on, Daniel.
So, while I am sticking true to my word as of right now that I am retired from the MCU after Guardians 3, after my very joyfully glee experience with Brie Larson, being that she was very nice to me and we had a really good time together for the minute we had together, I will, however, I've decided that I will be watching the Marvels later on this year for your benefit.
Well, all I can say then is good luck. You're going to need it.
Good luck, yeah.
I mean, I think it's probably going to be better than the first one, which isn't really saying much.
And yeah, you know what? When it comes to Brie Larson, I think she earned a little bit more respect for me when she praised you, Luke.
Yeah, I suppose, but yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Oh, I almost forgot. I do apologize. I almost forgot. I bumped into one of the voice actors for the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
That's cool. And
he was the voice actor for The Amazing World of Gumball. And
yeah, he was the Gumball.
Yeah. And so I actually bumped into him in the bathroom, which was actually kind of surprising, considering that happened. And we hung around for about 3 minutes, and he told me about his experience on the Ninja Turtles. It was basically him and 3 other guys were all in the booth together with Seth Rogen and the director in the room with them. And it was just them bickering back and forth with each other, having fun as the Ninja Turtles. And also, he did tell me that he is aware of the Seth Rogen controversy. And after talking with Seth Rogen personally, from his perspective, he has since been a little bit more remorseful about it. Like, he took a second to realize what he said and like, oh, I guess that wasn't the best thing to say. He hasn't made any public apologies, but rest assured, he has reflected on what he said and he kind of takes a little bit back, but it's not like public information yet.
Well, I hope one day, Daniel, he does make it public, so everyone in the world can know that he's sorry, of course, as a voice actor you bumped into says.
Yeah. And also, I guess, the trailer for the new Ninja Turtles movie actually played while I was at Comic-Con. I guess it makes sense for Paul Rudd to be in the movie because him and Seth Rogen have been best friends since 2005, since The 40-Year-Old Virgin with Steve Carell. But I was shocked that they got Ice Cube and Giancarlo Esposito to be in it.
Yeah, Giancarlo Esposito was a great actor. And I'm sure he'll do a great job in this film for what it is worth. Like he always does. You know, I've not seen him play anything bad, to be honest. Actually, guys, come to think of it.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my Comic-Con experience. It was
yeah,
really
well,
fun.
glad you had a great time, Daniel. And as you predicted, Daniel, I am pretty jealous.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also kind of surprised that Haley Steinfeld and I are the same height, which kind of surprised me a little bit.
So that means I'm taller than her. Goodness me, I'm taller than lots of people. That's pretty shocking.
And
yeah, there weren't that many tall people at the convention either.
And I'm very surprised that the people you met praised Luke's YouTube channel.
Yeah, I really appreciate that.
Is there anyone else? The actor who played the High Evolutionary in Guardians 3, who also played Murn in Peacemaker and had a small part in John Wick 2, he was there and he was walking around the crowd in a little bit. He's currently taking autographs and selfies, but I wasn't able to get a reservation with him.
Oh, what a shame.
And wait, wasn't Elizabeth Olsen there?
Yeah, she was there. I actually attended her panel yesterday for 30 minutes.
Yeah, how did the panel go, Daniel? How did the panel go?
It was good enough. You know, she reflected on her time filming her new TV show, Love and Death in Texas, her excitement for leaving the MCU while also being kind of optimistic to always come back, her expansion into looking at other projects, her approval of her husband and whatnot. You know, she was fun. I was very in the back side of the stage, so I wasn't able to get like any good pictures of her from close up. It was from afar, but it was kind of cool to be her the same person. There were a lot of it's currently 110 degrees in Texas right now, but there were a lot of people in full Game of Thrones armor just for Emilia Clarke and Kit Harington.
Wow. Yeah, I imagine they had lots of people coming to see them, of course.
Yeah, it was. I'm not kidding. Texas heat is like so hot, so I
can imagine.
Bad for them, and I also praise them for being able to withstand Texas heat outside while in the full Game of Thrones attire.
Yeah, I can imagine wearing all those costumes in the heat. Goodness me, and yeah, must have been boiling. Oh, yeah, happy anniversary to Fantastic Four 2005. Yeah. Obviously that's going to be. Well, I'll be doing reviews for after I've done the MCU Infinity Saga reviews.
There were a couple more people that were there. There were a few people from WWE. They had a basketball player who won multiple championships for the NBA. If I didn't already mention this, they had Andrew Garfield as well, and that got people very excited for it.
I can imagine. Isn't this the first time he's done like conventions, Daniel? Because I don't think he's been to others, has he? Oh wow.
Wow.
Must have been historic for him, I can imagine.
Yeah, he was. He had on like a brown shirt. He had a full-on beard. His hair was obviously a little bit more gingery than I expected Andrew Garfield to be. Also, I talked to some people who met him. Apparently, he wasn't really speaking much.
Oh, really?
And he wouldn't allow anyone to touch him, but he made sure to smile for all of the photographers. He even did one of those Spider-Man postings with the two people, so that was pretty cool to see.
Nice one. And so, I gotta say, despite the fact he's going to be 40 this upcoming August, he does look great for his age. I'll definitely give him that too. And also, Daniel, I'm not sure if you saw or not, but when you came onto stream in the comments, did you by any chance see what I got this week? You know, merchandise wise.
I already know you got John Wick 4.
Yeah, I got that, and I also got the animated Funko Justice League of Flashpoint Paradox as well. And I got figures of Scarecrow from the Dark Knight trilogy, and also figures of Spider-Man from the PS4 franchise.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything
right here?
Oh, that's pretty cool. As far as like the Comic-Con is concerned, they had a full-scale replica of Peacemaker, so I got to yesterday when I was wearing my Peacemaker shirt. I made sure to take a selfie. There was actually a contest for people who brought artwork to do a picture frame of what they view David Cornersweet, who's obviously our new Superman. There was a contest to see who would be the best artist to draw David Cornersweet as our brand new Superman, and the first person or the person who would be the best at it would win $500.
Oh wow! I mean, This actually reminds me of something that happened last week, because in a nearby town where I live, they actually had like a mini sci-fi convention thing. Nothing major because no celebrities were there. It was cosplayers. They had like a drawing contest there as well, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
But of course, this one sounds like it has more stakes because you can win $500 for it.
Yeah. I believe if Don were here, he probably would have been really excited that I mentioned David Cornersweet, considering that he saw Pearl last year, which was the sequel to X.
Also, David's invited, is he?
Yeah, he is. Is there anything else? All the Stormtrooper scene from Mando season 1, where you see all the Stormtroopers extras, they're actually a real life company that.
Yeah, they are 501st Legion. Yeah.
There were some people over there too.
That's cool. It is pretty cool how a Mandalorian's team definitely recruited roles to play Stormtroopers. Really cool. They got fans to play the characters. Must be a dream come true for them. But of course, nowadays with Mandalorian, I think it's a joke.
It is beyond a joke.
And when I think about it, I tend to say things to the makers of that show, like, it was said that you would destroy Disney, not join them. Bring balance to Star Wars. Don't leave it in darkness. And look what we've done.
Speaking of Star Wars, I just found this out that last year at the same Comic-Con that I went to a year ago, they were actually able to bring in Ewan McGregor to do the photoshops and autographs.
Oh, that's cool.
And I didn't even know about that. So knowing that he was at the same place I was in a year ago, imagine how cool would it have been to taking a photo or selfie with him just months after his terrible Obi-Wan show came out.
I mean, he seems to have a lot of fun with that show, so I don't think he would be upset about it. But I'm sure he'd have been great meeting fans, of course.
Yeah, I think it would be.
I mean, when it comes to these bad things out there, guys, if the actors had fun on them, then I'm happy for them. But me personally, I just don't like what we're in.
Yeah.
So yeah, although of course there has been the occasions where the actors have had bad times on things, which is a bit of a shame, isn't it? But yeah, I'm definitely glad to have found John Wick 4 today, and sadly, Daniel, I couldn't find Dungeons and Dragons, the movie, today. I couldn't find it, unfortunately.
They are actually selling popcorn trays of Dungeons and Dragons. You know, the metal popcorn trays?
Oh, really?
A lot of those today.
Oh, really? They did those with Mario when I went to see that. Still got it somewhere, actually. It was like, the question cube thing, the yellow cube.
By the way, you want to know the popcorn trays that were sold out the most?
What was it?
Yesterday and today, the popcorn trays that were sold out the most were Oppenheimer and Barbie.
Oh, wow. Well, I can see why for Oppenheimer's case, yeah. But as for Barbie, I don't understand the hype for it, to be honest.
I don't understand the hype for that movie at all.
I mean, Daniel, I know you're going to watch it out of respect for Ryan Gosling, aren't you? Because he earned your respect, didn't he?
Yeah, he did earn my respect a lot, actually.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling. When we're talking to Richard now, we actually brought him up because he said Ryan's one of his favorite actors.
Oh, that's cool to know.
I think he's an underrated actor, actually, in my opinion, who deserves more attention.
And what's crazy is that he's been working for 20 years and he's done a lot of dramatic Oscar bait work, but he's just almost never been nominated before.
Yeah, there's actually, many actors who've never been nominated at all, but they're regarded as great actors to never be nominated. Like, another example is probably Donald Sutherland. He's not had an Oscar, which is very shocking to me. I think he's a great actor.
I think he's also a Canadian, just like Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, he's Canadian. And speaking of other Canadians, Jim Carrey's not had an Oscar nomination either, as far as I know. I think he deserves one, especially, of course, for Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Because by my opinion, is his best performance.
Yeah, I would say that one, as well as I'll also throw in the Truman Show as well.
Yeah, Truman Show.
And maybe even for a comedic role too, the Mask, of course.
All right, I need to go back to my room so I can get my wallet so I can use the vending machine. So I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Okay?
All right, no worries, Daniel.
All right.
Yeah, I'm actually baffled about the fact that Jim Carrey's not been nominated for an Oscar. I think he's a legend.
Yeah, the fact that he hasn't won an Oscar is beyond me.
Yeah. I've noticed that James Earl Jones has had an honorary Oscar, so yeah, definitely well deserved.
Yeah, he deserves one.
Yeah, and it's called an honorary one where you don't get like nominated for it, you just get told immediately you got an honorary Oscar.
Oh.
Oh, let's see what's this now.
I think it's for people who've not seen him stream. He's posting me pictures of him, isn't he?
Yeah, he's posting the pictures now.
He's doing Indiana Jones now as well. Yeah, pretty cool.
Haley Steinfeld.
Steinfeld, yeah.
I always say Steinfeld. Can you believe it?
Well, I just look at the name and I pronounce it how it is, really. No, I think an example for me is probably Ralph Fiennes. I know people call him Rafe for some reason, but I call him Ralph because that's how it's spelled, and I just associate it with Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph Fiennes.
Another actor who also earned my respect when he's defended J.K. Rowling as well.
Yeah. Hey, Luke, I sent you some. I don't know if I sent this to Shadow, but let me send this to you quickly.
What is it?
It's Hogwarts Legacy. People already want a sequel to it.
A sequel to Hogwarts Legacy? That's cool.
Yeah, like a lot of people already want it.
But then again,
and I already want a sequel.
I mean, does it set up a sequel, guys?
I mean, well, I haven't come to the ending yet, but from what I know, it has 2 endings.
Well, they could probably do a sequel based on one of those endings, depending on what you've chosen. Kind of like how in Walking Dead Telltale games, you can continue on from an ending you chose in the next game. Basically, they could do it with this, and they could also have more. They could also introduce more places in the Wizarding World to explore. That could be really cool. I mean, one thing. I think one thing this sequel could introduce could probably be Quidditch.
Yeah, please.
Because I believe, of course, in this first game, that the headmaster of Hogwarts, Professor Black, I think he's called, he banned it for some reason.
Yeah, he did. And
what's the reason why, Shadow?
I don't know. I don't think I've gotten that far yet, but so far we haven't gotten any explanation to why he banned it.
But yeah, I'm definitely, looking forward to getting into it eventually. But as you guys may know, I'm currently playing the Yakuza games. I've started with Yakuza 0. So far, it's been pretty fun, and yeah. And I gotta say, what Blaze?
So what do you think of Mashima?
Well, Blaze, so far he's my favorite character. In terms of a combat, I think he's an absolute badass.
I wait till you see his E actions, and he has a lot of good ones.
And also, Shadow, in the English version of Yakuza, the very first version of the game on the PS2, do you know your voice is Majima in the English dub?
If I were to guess, it's Mark Hamill.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Blaze told me about that.
Yeah, Mark Hamill actually played him, which is pretty cool.
A funny clip of it.
However, in the game I'm playing Yakuza 0, it's only in Japanese, it's not in English.
Yeah, the 7th game is in English.
That was nice.
Did I tell you guys about the Lockwood Cox panel that I was at?
How did it go, Daniel? Was it good?
Yeah, so just like the Elizabeth Olsen panel I attended the Lockwood Cox panel, which only lasted like 20 minutes. She actually answered my question, which unfortunately I couldn't record since phones weren't allowed, but I'm glad she answered my question.
That's cool. Nice. And what did you ask her, Daniel?
I asked her if there were any Avengers that she could team up with to fight against Thanos, who would you choose? And she chose Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
That's cool.
Oh.
I mean, and she's not entirely wrong because in Infinity War, he does become an Avenger after all.
And she also said that her favorite Avenger is Mark Ruffalo's interpretation of Hulk.
Wow. Okay, I guess that's cool for her. Yeah, I mean, my favorite Ed Norton's version.
Always will be Ed Norton to me.
Yeah.
Also, rest in peace to her father, who passed away from cancer a year and a half ago.
Rest in peace. Very sad. Cancer sucks.
Peace to him.
Hey guys, did you see what posted in General Chat what happened?
Yeah, Coco Lee passed away.
Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah, definitely very sad news. But a singer from Milan passed away at a very young age. She was only in her 50s.
No, she was 48 apparently.
48. Goodness me! Like she wasn't even 50 yet.
Man, it really sucks when celebrities die young.
Yeah, rest in peace.
This record reminds me of Chadwick.
Yeah, we lost him way too soon.
Yeah.
For God's sake, it was 43.
Yeah, and if we're talking about people who passed away in the 60s, of course, you got Kevin Conroy, who was only 66, and of course, earlier this year, Lance Reddick, 60.
You know what's a scary coincidence, Luke?
What's scary, Blaze?
Right when I uploaded a Horizon Zero Dawn video with Lance Reddick on the photo for the thumbnail.
Was that on the day that he died, Blaze?
No, the next day that happened.
Oh, God.
I was like, what the?
I think it's definitely a very sad coincidence, I'll probably say that. Very sad.
Yeah, part 37, 4 months ago.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Speaking of Mulan and the actress who passed away, the original voice actress for Mulan, Ming-Na Wen, she was also at Comic-Con.
Yeah, I saw her. It was pretty cool.
I spoke with some guy who took a photo op with her. He told me that she was really sad about hearing about her co-star passing away.
I think a lot of people are very sad, especially Ming, of course, Mulan herself.
So, Luke, I need to ask you a very important question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now that it has been officially documented in world history that Brie Larson wished you the best with your YouTube career and agreed that YouTube itself isn't the best website.
No, that was Haley. You told me it was Haley, so it's not our best.
Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Haley. Sorry about Brie. It was Haley. So now that you know that Haley wished you the best with your YouTube career,
yeah,
would you say that you're definitely more interested in checking out Dickinson?
Oh, of course, yeah. I've always been saying on my birthday post for her that I'm keen on checking it out. I just need to find time to watch it, Daniel.
All right, no worries. Now, as far as Brie Larson is concerned, after what I told you guys about my experience with meeting her, as well as her, after I told her about, your YouTube channel, Luke, do you think it would be a little bit more easier for you to watch movies with her in?
I suppose. Or really. I have to see how that goes, well.
All right, no worries. It's all good.
Daniel, one movie I do want to check her out in is Room from 2015.
Yes. Me and Don, Movie Lover 120, both thoroughly enjoy that one, but it is a hard watch. It's a movie I can't imagine myself rewatching unless it's like 10 years in the future. But it's a movie that won her the Oscar in 2016.
I'll check it out.
And Daniel, would you say it's her best performance in your opinion?
Yes, her performance in Room, I would say, is her best. If I recall correctly, I believe she might have the same birthday as Zach Galifianakis, October 1st.
Yeah, you're right, and also the same birthday as Richard Harris, first Dumbledore actor. Rest in peace.
Oh yeah, rest in peace to him.
Oh.
Yeah, great actor, Richard Harris, and my second.
Did you know Richard?
What? So
did you know Richard Harris? Did you know that Richard Harris actually worked with River Phoenix for a little bit?
I think he did, yeah, and some things, yeah. Which is pretty cool. I'm glad he got opportunity to work with River.
Yeah, and also rest in peace to River Phoenix.
Yeah, it's very sad that he died. We also lost him too soon as well. And that's another example of when we lost too soon.
Oh, by the way, I'm about to say something that I imagine not only will make you guys miss River Phoenix even more, but also pay a little bit more respects to Christian Slater.
Yeah, go ahead, Daniel.
Go ahead.
So, the classic 1994 vampire movie, Interview with the Vampire, originally River Phoenix was cast as the reporter who was interviewing Brad Pitt, but just 4 weeks before filming began, he died of his drug overdose, Christian Slater was brought in to replace River Phoenix. Christian Slater actually donated all of his salary to charity, to a specific charity that River Phoenix backed.
Well, for that, Christians earn more respects.
Yeah, he's earned mine too.
Yeah, I absolutely love Christian Slater. It's kind of a shame that his career, since he was so phenomenal back in the 80s and 90s, it's kind of a shame that his career has since dwindled. Such appearing in such garbage like Willow, as well as that awful.
Oh no, Daniel, was he in Willow show?
Yeah, he was in it for one episode.
Oh God, that's a shame. Poor Christian.
It is a good thing though that it has since been removed from D-.
Yeah, good riddance to it. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to the original movie.
Oh, speaking of the original movie, they were able to put it in stores now again, since it's been so long since they put it in stores. So I've seen the Blu-ray around a few times.
I'll see if I can find it. Most definitely. When it comes to Richard Harris, Daniel, would you say your favorite role of his is Dumbledore, or do you have another favorite role of Richard Harris?
I need to look up his filmography really quick.
I mean, my second favorite role of his is Marcus Aurelius in Gladiator.
Okay, so it would either probably maybe because of nostalgia, but it would probably have to be Patriot Games.
Oh yeah, that's a good movie with Harrison Ford as Jack Ryan.
Yep, and you also got James Earl Jones in it as well, which is.
I mean, yeah, he plays a character in a trilogy of films which Jack Ryan's in, Daniel. Yeah, Admiral James Greer is called. Yeah, pretty cool. And also, Daniel, have you seen the Western film called Unforgiven by Clint Eastwood?
I saw about 30 minutes of it and then I fell asleep.
Oh right, because he's in that Richard Harris as a character called English Bob.
All right, I'll be sure to give it a watch one day when I can.
Yeah, dude, it's a masterpiece. It's one of my favorite Western movies of all time. And before he appeared in the second Harry Potter film, which was sadly his final movie, he was in a film called The Count of Monte Cristo.
Yes, with young Henry Cavill.
Yeah, and of course, Guy Pearce in the lead role, which was pretty cool. So yeah, definitely a good film in my opinion, Count of Monte Cristo.
Yeah, really, really good.
Yeah, you're right, Darth. Andrew Garfield aged really well, fantastically. Hard to believe he's 40 this upcoming August. So yeah, and speaking of course, films, guys, I also hope you guys enjoyed today's video of why I said, in my opinion, The Tomorrow War deserves a sequel.
Yes.
Yes, pretty much.
Thanks, guys. So yeah, it was definitely, a lot of fun to talk about it. So far, guys, it's my favorite Prime movie, and I think it might stick to that. Unless of course, the sequels are better. We'll have to wait and see, won't we?
I really hope that Amazon will go more sequels to that.
Yeah, I really hope so. I think they might do it due to Chris Pratt's success with Terminal List, so they could probably do it in light of that success. But they are doing a second season of that first, aren't they?
And also, they better cancel Rings of Power. They better.
Yeah, and goodness me, guys, it's like over 3 hours. This was pretty fun, weren't it? Wow, this has gone really long. And yeah, you're right, sure. Let's cancel that bloody show, eh?
Yeah. And also do the same with The Boys.
Oh yeah, of course. A show I hate people like for some reason. So yeah, but yeah, that was definitely a great stream.
I'm only gonna watch season 4 for Jeffrey Dean Morgan. That's all.
Okay, well, good luck to you, Blaze. Best of luck to you.
And sadly, I'm gonna be watching that show soon as well.
Or you could back out of it, Shadow. Simple as that. You could watch something more worth your time.
Look, I just want to see how the show is.
Well, you're not going to be in for anything good, I'll tell you that. There's not much good things in it, for the most part. So all I can say is good luck, so yeah.
I think season 3 is the worst so far.
Yeah, 3 is terrible. It killed my interest.
I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah, just be prepared for disgusting things, Shadow. It's very disgusting. Yep. It made me quit. I had enough.
Especially what happens in one episode.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say, but yeah. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We had a really great time talking to Richard Epcar and Daniel's convention adventures, of course, and having lots of fun. So yeah. So drill, guys. Be sure to give this video a like, and also please let me know in the comments what you guys thought of tonight's stream, and also please go subscribe to the special guest who came on as well, and please go follow Richard Epcar on his social media as well, and go show him some love on those. And also be sure to join Team Pan by pressing subscribe in the future if you'd like to be a member. You can use a piece of or subscription, and we will see you all later. All right, we're forced with you always. See you guys.